I'll keep going till my feet become below. I'll keep going till my feet become below. I'll keep going till my feet become below. I'll keep going till my till my feet become. I'll keep going till my feet become below. 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 Till my feet become I'll keep going till my feet become below. I'll keep going till my feet become below. I'll keep going till my feet become below. I'll keep going till my feet become below.
a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a Benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of A to Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and roll Lex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When it down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.
Come on.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another beautiful evening of ESL Challenger League Season 51 for the South America Cup number 1 for 2026. It has been a lot of games, a whole bunch of fun and action, but we're getting right down to the pointy end in the consolidation final. Having a look at two of the best from the lower bracket that win today. They will be going up against MIBR later on in the grand final tomorrow. But of course, I'm Mac. I'm joined by Sam, Nari Mizuki. Sam, how you doing on this beautiful Monday afternoon? Just thought I'd check in. I'm thinking Sam might have just walked away for a second, but it's all right. She'll be back shortly and we'll figure this one out. But yes, we do have a big game on this evening, lower bracket final, Galorys up against ODDIK, and I can't wait to see exactly what South America has been cooking up. It's my first time getting to set my sight on here. I'm filling in for Big Freddy. If you guys know him, Grimy Renard, he is currently, I think he's away coaching a LAN, and you know, all the best to him. But yeah, all the best to the guys from South America that we are going to be having a look today. You know, it's been a weird time. It's been a wonderful time, and there might have been some unexpected results down in the lower bracket. I'm seeing some teams that did get knocked out, but of course this is what they're playing for, and at the moment we are currently in top 3 territory, so whoever loses today will be taking home $2,000, and then the winner of tomorrow will take home $8,000, with the loser of tomorrow taking home $4,000. So yeah, altogether not too bad at all. Now let's have a quick look at the bracket, where the teams have gone, how they've gotten to this position, and who of course has filled out the rest of those positions in the prize pool. As you can see, of course, we do have a little bit of fun, a little bit of action, and this is how the lower bracket has been looking. You can see, oh, this is the upper bracket, actually. No, it is the lower bracket. Sorry, I'm just getting my bearings. ODDIK against LP. I managed to get that 2-1 W yesterday, which put them in this position. Galorys, of course, making their way all the way through the upper bracket up until losing to MIBR, so it is their first chance down in the lower bracket, and I'm keen to see what they can do up against the likes of ODDIK. ODDIK, of course, you know, they've gone through a few roster changes over time, but having a look at just some of the other names that were in the lower bracket, you can see Sharks got knocked out by ODDIK. You can see Imperial got knocked out by Sharks. There's a few names that have left us, including, oh, look at that, Red Canids as well. So a few names that you might have seen on the international stage aren't making it all the way to this point, but let's have a look at the upper bracket as well and just see, you know, who is up there, who will be in the grand final. And as you can see, it's MIBR with a relatively nice win yesterday over Galorys, you know, 2-1. So that's pretty solid. Their path to this position was already taken down ODDIK, Bounty Hunter Esports, and X4 Magic. So a few names that you may or may not be familiar with. But yeah, we shall see. We shall see what we end up getting. But yeah, that grand final going to be an actual spectacular game to watch tomorrow. But of course, to get there, we've got to get through today's lower bracket final. Galorys, if you don't know him, Now you might. Now you do. All right, these 5 individuals are going to be the ones playing today. Personally, I haven't had too much of a chance to watch them because this is usually around my bedtime. So staying up late and enjoying what they have for us today up against the likes of ODDIK, who I know have been around for a while. Some of the names still the same. But yeah, in terms of, the individuals, I'm interested to see what we get out of these 5.
Apologies, it looked like I was muted on vMix. I'm sorry about that. As I was saying, I was talking about DRG being one of the newer players on the roster here and looking to see how he's going to gel with the rest of the team, and seeing some of the recent results. A loss to MIBR, but taking a map off of them, I feel like certainly bodes well for their chances, and especially in this matchup, because it feels like, they've lost a few times. The core of this roster have lost a couple of times to ODDIK, so I think that, this might be just the change that they need to change their trajectory.
Yeah, we'll see if it does end up working out for them. Obviously, you've got to take this W today over ODDIK to continue that chance to put yourself in a position to get another shot at the title, get another shot at MIBR. But yeah, so far, as you can see, recent results, it's just been mostly ESL Challenger League, not too much else to play on. And the last time they went head-to-head here, you can see it was 2-0, but that was when Train was in the pool. So a bit of a different map pool, bit of different chance and different opportunities. Overpass was close though, so a chance to see that in the video again today.
Yeah, I mean, there's been some other matchups, but like way further back. This one goes back to like September, and then you've got like April, and then you've got the core of this roster like well over a year ago as well. So they have met up a few times, as I say, the cores, but so many things have changed over the course of that time, and not least of all in the last few months since this game. As mentioned, they would have brought DRG in. Whereas ODDIK, I think, haven't made too many changes. They've made 2 player changes since this as well. So, you've still got your core 3 that have been together for like at least, a year each. But again, bringing in the newer blood, bringing in players that might not be as tested, or players that are looking for new opportunities. I mean, here they are in the lower bracket final, looking for an opportunity to play up against MIBR in the grand final and, get themselves through this first cup. It's clearly, results are being garnered, but is it going to be enough? Because this is, there are 4 cups, so there are a few more opportunities, but the sooner you can snag that spot, the better.
Yeah, look, that's what it's all about, right? And of course, look, these individuals on ODDIK, you said that they've gone for that slight shift in the core, and arguably, I don't know if it's an upgrade or a downgrade. Everyone would have to probably say it's a downgrade when you lose in the likes of, Cold Zera for another one of the Zeras, another one of the many Zeras. But having a quick look, this is their map pool, this is what they've been playing, and so far it looks like they've had a few chances on Anubis, not looking like they've had the best success on it, so I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see it in there. Maybe it's a third sort of map that does float in, but yeah, we'll see if Galorys let that one through.
Yeah, I mean, they seem a little bit coin flippy on a lot of their maps, to be honest, aside from, obviously the Dust 2 where they've had the most success, and that makes a lot of sense. Teams tend to be comfortable on this one, so if you are going up against teams of a quote-unquote lower caliber, you already have a massive advantage in that, so you're going to want to lean into the maps that you're more familiar, more comfortable with. The Anubis one is interesting to me because I think teams are still figuring it out. There've been a few changes here, and while some teams have really kind of run with it, you're still not seeing a lot of adaptation. I think the biggest adaptation I've really seen is obviously the CTs popping out of the new window straight into water to get behind the Ts, and it makes sense, but it feels like there's not a lot of innovation yet. And I think that once teams have a bit more time to get comfortable on the map, then we'll really start to see the interesting things come out. But for now, most teams are playing it very similarly as they were before. So if you have decent results leading up to today, then perhaps you can keep riding that wave.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it ends up being something similar, something a little bit different. But yeah, I haven't had a chance to see how the South Americans have been playing it so far. So, in my opinion, it's probably going to be a bit more aggressive. That's what I usually put on with a lot of these South American teams.
Yeah.
A bit more aggression, a bit more fun. But yeah, we'll see if we even get it anyway. Here's the map, Vito. No Inferno, no Mirage. But where are we going?
Oh. Okay. Overpass was one that they had played before and it went into overtime. It was something like a 1916 a few months ago. So clearly feeling pretty confident on that one. But I suppose knowing that you can take it the distance and then just hoping that you can drag it over the finish line. And well, there's that Anubis, not in fact floated, but pulled straight out of the bag by ODDIK. And I always say, when a map is new or if it's come back into the pool after a few changes, if you're one of the first teams that can figure it out, a lot of teams will be avoiding it because it's new and unfamiliar. So if you can figure it out the fastest, you have such a huge advantage in so many of these matchups.
Yeah, we'll see if it is going to be an advantage. We'll see if it won't be, as Galorys, of course, going to be able to get their choice of sides. It has been mostly T-sided from what I've seen, but some teams that have really embraced it have managed to make that CT side look pretty damn good, especially if they like to play aggressive. So we'll see if we even get to Dust 2, or if it is going to be a 2-0, similar to before. I guess the difference is this time, there is those slight differences to the rosters, and Galorys picking into Overpass, it's always a little bit of a bait pick, right? Because you go into it, but it is still statistically one of the most CT-sided maps. So we'll see how ODDIK go, as it is going to be Overpass to start.
Yeah, it's going to be our first map, as you said. Lower bracket final here. All the marbles on the line. And of course, loser has to come back for cup number 2 to take that second opportunity to try and snag a spot at the regional. But obviously, there's still a lot of opportunities either way, and you can still take a lot from this. So I look forward to seeing how this is going to match up. But again, seeing some of the newer players, because we've got about 3 new players on these particular rosters, and we get the opportunity to see kind of how they're slotting in and if they're making any huge differences throughout the team itself. And the one that I was interested in was obviously DRG, because it's a name that I'm admittedly not super familiar with. I saw that he's been on teams like Sharks and B4, but these are, it feels like he hasn't been as prominent as some of the other players on the roster. So I really want to see, how that's going to work with the rest of this roster, who have had some decent results.
Yeah, for me, I'm just sort of looking at each individual's performance, especially, today, moving into tomorrow's grand final. You kind of want to be playing your best brand of Counter-Strike. You kind of want to be confident and not making too many mistakes, because that's what it's going to take, especially to go up against the team of MIBR in the grand final. You know that they've got that experience, they've got that confidence, and you need to get this win today to have any form of confidence. Whether it will be a rematch, whether it will be a chance for ODDIK to, maybe get some revenge as well, that'll be something that we'll find out as the day rolls on. But yeah, for me, Overpass, it's all going to be about the AWPers. It's all going to be about, holding on that CT side and maybe you're not getting too aggressive, although, it is, a couple of crazy Brazilians here, so you never know. They might just go aggressive, get those flash plays, try to take that fountain control, get up in the grills of Gladys. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see once we get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's quite interesting that both of these teams have found themselves in the lower bracket, having faced a loss to MIBR, and in relative succession, right? Like MIBR was making their way through the bracket, they knocked ODDIK down, the very next game, they knocked Galorys down, and that was the upper bracket final, and that's what got them to the grand final. And now these two teams who had already been sent to the Shadow Realm, so to speak, have to kind of play through and claim that rematch, like you were saying. So it really is there's a little bit of pride on the line and that kind of redemption arc, so to speak. So I look forward to that, but obviously one of these teams is going to be gatekeeping the other one. So hopefully it's going to be an exciting one. But looks like we might have a little bit of a tech thing. So guys, please just bear with us. We're going to throw this to a quick break, but we'll be back as soon as we can.
this is a shakedown. Order up that beat just like it's takeout. Show me you got soul inside those new shoes, and you can rock and roll with an attitude. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. You're the new MC, you got the remix. Keep it on repeat, just let the beat kick. Everywhere you go, you bring the roof down. Everybody knows you got your own sound. So good, so fresh, just the way you like it. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, yeah, you like it, the way you like it now. Yeah, you like it, the way you like it. Oh, so good, so fresh. Get up on your feet. Show me you got soul. Just the way you like it. So good, so fresh. Just the way you like it. The way you like it. So good, so fresh. Get up on your feet, this is a shakedown.
I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my feet become. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. 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 Going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my I'll keep going till my I'll keep go till my feet become blown. I'll keep going 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 till my feet become blown.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and Rolex account or blue face. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brother since 6th grade. G-Wagon, red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on the better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna...
And welcome back, everybody. Apologies for the delay, but we are ready and raring to go here. And so, of course, are our teams. South America, the lower bracket final, fighting for a spot in the grand final against MIBR. It's Galorys versus ODDIK. If you are just joining us, we're going to be kicking things off here on Overpass. It's the pick of Galorys, which means that ODDIK are going to get that coveted CT side start.
Yeah. Let's see if they're going to be good to potentially read with HG. Oh, wait. Diozera caught in the crossfire, though, and it's looking too easy. Galorys going to be able to instantly get that two-man trade, crack open the B-site defenses. There is going to be a smoke to slowly hold here. Case-Locks dropping that one down and just trying to play with the Julies, but he's going to play with fire a little too hard. 2v4, and now anyone's chance at a round.
Bomb not yet planted, but they've got all the space to work with. Most of that utility has been chunked away, so running out into the open will allow Nardis yet another kill. And now the retake has to come online. Woody losing out that battle, leaving Nardis all alone. He's been good for one, but has to get another 3 kills. Oh, nice little tap, but that's all she wrote as Destiny puts the final nail in the coffin, and Galorys will take the pistol.
Yeah, you'll take that T-side pistol. going to set you up for a very solid start on this T side of Overpass. I like the idea that we saw there from ODDIK and essentially everything that they were going for, but unfortunately they just, I guess, weren't expecting every possibility. And I kind of feel bad for K-Slox as well. He went to drop that defensive utility, picked a little too wide and got his head completely ripped off. But we're going to see this force from ODDIK here into the second. Looking like it is going to be some utility to let the T's know that they are after some fountain control. And a bit of a 3-2 split to come through here.
Yeah, I've been seeing the CT side force after losing the pistol more and more often recently. It's very high risk, but obviously super high reward if you can mount that economic reset. So let's see if they can make that happen. And of course, with the CT-sided nature of the map, lean into that a little bit more. But a jiggle peeking here, flash over the top, but Tamade seemingly aware of it. Not a flash, in fact, a smoke. So there you go. Covers the sideline. I thought they were going to flash it and then have a swing, but instead we deny that sight line. And ODDIK, realizing that Monster's probably not the place to be, will take the long-range battle and, of course, wins that every day of the week. This is the perfect position for them to be holding. The scout is still holding here, though. So Nardus needs to be a little bit more careful with it and does just that. Will circumvent any danger of the scout and instead pivot back towards mid.
Good timing on that smoke. No more to use, though. So there will be 20 seconds for Galorys to make sure that they successfully hit this B site. HE in hand, but the only line of defense here is probably not going to be enough, and ODDIK realize that it's probably not that A site with nothing really happening. Down short they come, and oh, it's looking like the entry is going to be a little too easy.
Yeah, a little bit labored. We're seeing a lot of damage being done here. So now all of these T's are very, very squishy. A few stray bullets might be all that's needed, but they have to find the purchase and DRG, the new gun on this roster, not allowing that to happen. And this could be that second round for Galorys as they find, or Nardus finds himself alone in a 1 versus 3 here. Still full HP, but these shots have to connect and caught unawares, looking in the wrong direction. DRG with a third on the round and secures the second.
Not bad, not too bad at all. Lovely work, lovely shots out of DRG. Weathers that storm. You can see Nathan and Tamade got incredibly low. So ODDIK thinking that maybe there was that shot to go for the retake, but now it is just going to be that full eco. What you got? 1 flash, just a couple of upgraded pistols. That'll be about that. Oh, Woody's got the armor, so keep your eyes on him just in case. And no stack anywhere. ODDIK still just going for 3 towards B, 2 towards con. Going to maximize the value out of these pistols.
Yeah, unfortunately, the risk didn't quite pay off for them. Let's see if they can catch some of these T's off guard. I like the positioning here. You give up the long position because you're never going to win a fight at range with pistols against AKs. Try to bait them out. Go for a bit more of a retake scenario. Already one spotted towards the underpass. So the rotations start coming in towards this A site, trying to head them off. A lot of util being drawn out here just to clear out that site as much as possible. Great positioning from ODDIK just to deal with any potential shenanigans. They'll lose 1 gun, but so long as they win the round, that's the only thing that matters right now. And with only 3 players surviving here, okay, there's a deagle in the mix there. You can get a lot done with that. But bomb now ticking away with no kit in hand. Time is of the essence, and it really is just going to be a little bit of last-minute cleanup. An extra kill here would be nice, but seemingly unlikely.
Yeah, Crosshair trained on the right position. Destiny happy to eat up a couple of those anti-eco kills. And that's going to be 3 clean ones for Galorys. Moving into the 4th, let's see if ODDIK can finally get around on the board with a full gun buy. Woody did go for, you know, slight extra investment in the previous, so he'll be left with less utility. Gets tossed across some from Diozera. Let's see if the 1-4 split is going to be the answer that they were looking for. No T's coming this direction. They all really have those rifles online. Or here for Nathan. See who wins the standoff towards the A site, if anyone.
Much slower pacing from ODDIK now. Hoping to maybe bait out some of that aggression. And to be fair, Galorys has taken a lot of ODDIK have taken a lot of aggressive positioning and map control and have actually tried to fan out quite heavily. So to have taken the more passive positioning here on both sides, it's almost a reverse game of chicken, right? Like who's going to move first? Who's going to try to take that space? But eventually the T's, well, they're the ones that have to start moving, and so they shall. Nathan might just be heading into a very spicy stack of players here. Both teams opting to move into the exact same direction, unbeknownst to one another. Molotov to flush out. The shot misses, but DRG, well, doesn't take the shot, but DRG is there to make sure that that first kill does come through. Advantage, Galorys now. Nodis is watching the short position. And there's a lot of players that are going to be making their way through here. So some utility to try and force him off of the angle. Doesn't take the bait, but does suffer for it. Trades all abound. And it leaves Nate all alone now on the other side of the map. I think probably the only reason he wasn't part of that trade-off. He wasn't there to begin with. Doesn't pick up the AWP. Maybe not confident in his ability to clutch this out. And let's face it, a retake with an AWP in hand is incredibly difficult. No utility to his name, no kit. Maybe it should just be a grab the AWP and get the hell out of Dodge.
Yeah, I think that's what he's looking for. Just trying to figure out where the stick has gone. Finds it eventually. And that'll be that. 4 in a row to start the T side for Galorys. That is a great way to start your overpass shenanigans. Let's see exactly what goes down here. Both AKs, yeah, they'll get out of the vicinity. But won't get close enough to Nate to get the stick out of his hands. So that will be carried across to the next and have to be the key piece of the puzzle to potentially set them up for a first round. Earlier today, if everyone was tuning into the EU game, we did have a whole lot of fun and entertainment with some hero AWP buys that somehow ended up working. And I don't see it happen too often, but I've seen it today already, so I'm not going to write it off. There is going to be a force buy around it anyway. Low on the utility. We'll see if they're going to be able to make this one work.
A round is always winnable if there's an AWP. Just depends on who's holding it, I suppose. Bit of an uncomfortable one here, though, for ODDIK. Oh, you know what? I say that Diazer is still good for one. And honestly, he's kind of cannon fodder in this setup with the fact that he only has a pistol. So he gets one, he gets traded, but he's given them, you know, a little bit of a something to work with here. Now we're seeing an aggressive push towards water. Have to keep their eyes open. Woody checking every single angle, spots the shoulder, but unfortunately can't win off in the battle. So K-Slox will be there to follow up on it and ensure that that kill does come through. Trades are super important here for the CTs. Need to maintain some semblance of control and making the right call here to just back out. Give that space open. Don't overstay your welcome. Reposition in on towards the site here. They know that the T's were still angling. Nate's been taken down. Oh, K-Slox absolutely predicted the fact that it's destiny to get both of those kills. Now the site is entirely theirs, and looks like it's just going to be another AWP save.
Keeps them guessing. And then just, yeah, caught with their pants down. K-Slox as well on a almighty off angle. Still going to get cleared. But hey, look, happens to the best of them. ODDIK just, yeah, starting slow. Unable to find themselves a footing, find themselves an opening or a man advantage of any sort or shape. We'll see if they are going to be able to find Nades. You can see that they are interested in it. Destiny just creating a lot of space from that explosion, making sure he can carry across to the next. And look, feels like they are happy to allow this one weapon to go to the next, considering the financial situation of ODDIK and Galorys as well. They can see that their money's not necessarily in the best place. It's starting to get in the better place, but you keep 3 alive there. It might warrant you an extra couple of guns, you know, further down the line.
Mm-hmm.
And 5 on
Yeah,
the
it felt
T side
like-
already. That's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, that's super rough for ODDIK. And it felt like it was one of those cases of, look, fan out. If you find the AWP, get rid of it. If you don't, that's fine. You know, don't get too crazy about it.
Yeah.
But this I think was kind of the concern, because we looked at the previous matchup and the fact that it went into an overtime on this map, and I went to go double check. It was a 7-5 first half in favor of ODDIK, who also, you know, started on the CT side at that point. But Galorys has had a couple of changes here. They played MIBR recently. They'd taken a map off of MIBR, so they looked pretty comfortable in that one. So coming into this, it did already feel like it was leaning in their favor.
Yeah. We'll see which way this round will lean. Buster approach from Galorys straight up short through those mollies. Orp finally getting activated as Nades gets the first but not the second. GBB doubles down and starts to crack open the B-site defenses. Incend forces him back. And only losing Tomato in the whole exchange of everything. You can see that Galorys, they are going to be happy with that. I think they realize that there is a heavier rotation back towards B, so they're going to try to take advantage of that by going A instead.
But of course, what makes this map so CT-sided is how quickly the CTs can rotate. I mean, look at how long it's taking Galorys to get to where they need to go, whereas ODDIK can be a little bit more chill about it. I do love that we've installed GBB here to potentially be the late lurk as the round goes on. You know, he's probably been able to hear that Case Locks is backed out, waiting to hear that final player. A little bit of damage done from the long position as well, but Util's going to start to come out now. And ODDIK are desperately searching for some sort of an opening. Nice little nade there, follows up by Case Locks doing the final bit of damage. And that's going to get that bomb rotating all the way back. I spoke about a potential late lurk, but it's also a case of, hey guys, everybody's left this site. You can rotate. They take the quick rotation through Underpass. They're going to be able to get themselves, oh my god, Case Locks right over the top of the wall. Manages to connect onto DRG's head. And what was looking like a potential win here might just slip back in favor of ODDIK. But with that extra kill following up here from Case Locks, 1 versus 2, GBB, already a phenomenal round from him. One more to make it the ace and to confirm this round. Bomb to be planted. Dear Zera, what is your plan? Do you try to go for this? He's got a kit in hand, but he's retaking with an AWP and... No, they ran out of time. Oh my god. Bro, I cannot tell you how many times I don't look at the time and then realize, welp. I'm so focused on what's happening on my screen, and next thing it's just, oh, my bad.
Happens to the best of Sam, you're up. But look, Nades will finally get activated. But in the end, let's see. Oops. Seemingly the answer. Not going to be able to get on the board. And pass that back across to Nades, who is looking to find an opening towards Monster this time. I was on the right position. Flash is too good, but the 4 individuals here going to get torn on, collapsed upon, but holding strong. And that's just the round. 30 seconds, couple of flashes, and a whole bunch of confidence just gets returned to sender. Nathan, it's a long save for him.
I mean, it feels like ODDIK read into the fact that there's just been so many hits towards this B site. They almost always posture early round towards B and then start pivoting over towards A. So they just go, you know what? Let's take a gamble. Let's stick onto the B site as a full unit and see if they do the same thing again. Can we just absolutely run them over before they have a chance to get anything done? And that's exactly what they do. And it marked an interesting change of pace from Galorys as well, because they tend to take a slightly slower approach to these rounds, a bit more defaulty, whereas in this round, they really hit the accelerator. And, you know, as you said, right, within moments, the round was completely capitulated. So it's a great round for ODDIK to just continue with that momentum.
It definitely can be the point of difference. And you can see the CTs, even though the package is down on B, they are happy to go for the hunt here. Slowly but surely clearing everything out. Let's have a look-see. I don't know if they're going to get close enough or go loud enough to even find him here towards Long Toilets. You can see that. Oh, okay. Maybe, just maybe, the HE alerts him to his presence, but he'll run into Woody's cross there in the final tick of the round. Oh, that one is going to hurt. $50 left. Or 1900 rather.
Yeah, that certainly stings. Not the way you wanted that one to end up, unfortunately. But onwards and upwards. Still 5 rounds for Galorys, no matter how you slice it, is an absolutely phenomenal way to kick things off. Yeah, even if they don't get another round in this half, they're pretty much, you know, set for potential success when things do swap around. Unfortunately, into this round, it's the one hero rifle, complemented by a smattering of pistols and a little bit of utility to potentially help them in. And I think that the big task in this one is just bomb down, get that extra little bit of cash. Bit of damage done would also be quite nice, but seemingly they're not going to be given that opportunity. Woody's already gone and given them an opening into this. The rifle's been taken offline. Go on, Nate. Just finish it all off. Ah. I was going to... If he had gotten that kill, I was going to go on about how it could have been an ace. But no. Destiny sits him down. Woody's there to get his second. And that's how you want your anti-ecos to go.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. Definitely going to be happy with the way that one played out. It looked very menacing for just a moment. Actually, I'm thinking about the prior round. This one didn't look menacing at all. That was just clean. There you have it. ODDIK straight back into second gear, maybe even third, as they put a third on the round count. Let's see if they can do it again. This time starting 3 towards A, a little heavier here. Nada's playing anti, expecting a couple of flashes across the top. Let's see how far forward Diozera is going to be able to position himself. There's only one T here to find. And case locks as well can activate off the back of any kind of contact. Oh, how's this timing? It's awkward, it's weird. And Destiny, not necessarily behind the most solid of defenses. Gets mollied out, naded. And that's a free opening. ODDIK in a good position to set themselves up for another round.
Watching this map control and how they like shut down every single avenue genuinely makes me giddy. I love seeing things like that. It makes things so uncomfortable for the T's, and they're almost forced to have to move towards this B position, particularly after losing Destiny. They now realize, okay, trying to pivot away now, if they are going to want to do that, they're going to have to wait a little bit. So instead, they're almost forced to press in towards this B site. Now down to only 40 seconds remaining, a pivot would be beyond risky. So now they're going to have to start to commit. They put GBB in a really solid spot here, manages to catch Case Locks up in heaven. And suddenly this is back to a 4-on-4 and a doable situation. Flash over the top, caught completely unawares, but Woody on the other side tries to keep things contestable. Unfortunately, he will fall as well. The bomb has yet to make its way in towards the site now. Nathan going to be going in for that plant. Diazera is going to allow it to happen because of all these smokes in the way. You don't want to give over an unnecessary opportunity. 2 players spotted down below. Oh, Nadas, how have you lost that? Nathan takes full advantage, and Diazera is left in a 1v3 in what looked like a salvageable scenario for ODDIK has quickly been ripped out of their hands as Galorys pull this back into their positioning. Now with the smoke on the bomb, a tap to see if anyone starts firing through. He can fire back, returns that, return to sender, sticking onto the bomb, but unfortunately sprayed through. The ninja defuse is denied.
Not a bad result coming through there in the 4v5. Bringing it right back. And then also keeping 2 alive. Money's not necessarily in the worst way. You've done a good chunk of damage to what economy ODDIK was able to work up with those couple of rounds, considering how close a few rounds came. But with that clean one in the prior, you can see that that results in another full buy and a potential for a few upgrades. Ooh, straight in. Good timing for that flash. They've called it and timed it absolutely perfectly. GBB completely caught off guard. Couldn't see a thing. And Nathan as well flashed deep towards Con, so there was no coverage for the trade.
Diazero wasn't flushed all the way out though, but now coming face to face with that AWP and being Molotov'd off, this has left him in a little bit of an uncomfortable spot here. Certainly starting to feel that pressure, and as he tries to escape, it's DRG that's going to put him into the ground and bring what little bit of an advantage there was back to an even kilter. Galorys looking to commit to this A site for the moment, but first need to do a little bit more of a reconnaissance because it's just been kind of kerfuffle in mid. Nothing really garnered anywhere else. I was talking about how they like to angle towards Monster and they've kind of shied away from that now. So no real early information to speak of apart from the fact that, hey, this time around, there isn't any crazy map control. They're not, you know, forcing us into unfavorable positions. So they've got a bit more space to work with. And it could very well end up being one of those scenarios of give them just enough rope to hang themselves with. See if that is the case now as Util starts to come through. Nada's wonderful first shot, not quite managing to get the second one to connect. Under pressure, and it's Tamati that gets that follow-up. 3 versus 3 now. Chip damage, firing through, peppering them, bringing it to a 2v2, and it's Nate from backside, coupled with case locks from bathroom, and between the two of them, despite that bomb plant, they'll bring back the control, defuse, and up to 4.
Not bad, not bad, not bad. 4's better than 0. I can tell you that much. So good to see that they're making it a little closer than what we once thought it was going to be. Galorys already doing more than enough for the half by getting those 6 early rounds on the T side. But hey, let's see if they're going to be able to make it 8. There is still a little bit of cash in the back pocket, as you can see. Still 4 rifles, 1 Tech 9. ODDIK on the other side of things, making it work to just scrape through it. Still not a lot in the economy department. So if they lose this one, that will put them in a rough position for the final round of the half. But this time, not going too aggressive too early. Just playing it slow, playing it methodical, and having to think about exactly what they want to do here. But there's that info. Dio0 going to be spotted and also tagged up by the scout with a few numbers heading alongside.
Yeah, the skeet shooting certainly paying off, even if it doesn't quite get the confirmed kill. It's that information, as you said, that might just inform how they approach the rest of this round. And he's really comfortable to just kind of stick around here, relying a lot on Case Locks, who finds himself in such a good position, nobody expecting him there, so he's able to pick up 3. And now Nathan is left all alone. This is not the way that they expected this round to go. Shut down, put out, and it's ODDIK up to 5.
Who's going to take the final round of the half? Let's see. Will we get the equalizer that ODDIK have been looking for? Slow starters, but starting to hit a little harder. Is it too little, too late? We'll find that out in the second half. In sent towards short. That gets smoked. It's all a ruse, though. Tomate. Just hoping that Nades can get baited to stay towards short. And so far, so good. That 4-player B setup, the boost into short as well. High priority there from ODDIK. But in the meanwhile, long seemed quite easy to take advantage of from Galorys before. So they're going to give it another crack. Or at least send Nathan here with the scout to maybe draw eyes in this department.
This is a tough round to get results in. So the hope here is that they don't kind of overcook things. But I don't hate that they're going for the B hit. I want to take some closer range engagement. Speaking of, Nate not going to be allowing that to happen. He's going to try to hold down this monster position. Good for 2 before he's finally put down. Now they might be able to pick up that weapon on their way in, but Nathan is here And he's going to try and stop these rotations, or at the very least buy his team some time, because unfortunately he's not going to be able to get any kills, and now DRG is going to be left all alone. Bomb to be planted, but it's a 1 versus 4, and unfortunately he cannot make that miracle happen. That bomb will be defused, and ODDIK will take this to a 6-6 half.
Till my speakers come below. I'll keep going till my speakers come below. I'll keep going till my speakers come below. I'll keep going till my till my speakers come. Till my speaker come.
And welcome back, folks. What looked like a runaway lead for Galorys in the first half quickly turned into an evened out scoreline, but it's all going to come down to the second half to see who's going to come out on top. And so far, so good for ODDIK. A beautiful opening kill here onto Nathan sets them up for potential success. But nothing committed just yet. The bomb's only making its way from the spawn now, so still a little bit of time to play with. Destiny looking to get a little bit cheeky with his spacing here. Oh, this could come back to bite him. Tries to escape and gets completely run over. Tamati waiting for that push, and Woody is just an absolute monster that cannot be put down. Left to the final two players here. A little bit far away. GBB makes his way in on towards the site. And again, bomb not committed just yet. ODDIK continue to play this low and slow, looking for openings. DRG is going to find one, but There are still 4 more players remaining. Despite that, still managing to fight back. GBB, how much more can you get done? Yeah, has to try to isolate these fights. If he's got out in the open, he won't be long for this world. And ODDIK do, in fact, get that pistol.
Not too bad, not too bad. But honestly, did Galorys not learn from their own mistakes? That's the thing. Like, this is the exact same way that their pistol round started, by ODDIK exploring monsters, someone getting caught in the monster tunnel. Hey, whatever. Look, they'll learn later on and go, maybe that wasn't the best decision. That being said, you know, new round, new opportunities. And again, we're going to see another CT side try and force here into the second, going for a long setup for Galorys, but it's B that they may have to worry about. A few individuals down here. Looking like Woody wants to make his way out up con after the molly. And Nathan, with this scout in long bathrooms, might be able to get his crosshair in the right position. Yeah, that's free damage. Untradeable. Nathan's just going to run away and try to bait them into the long setup.
It's left GBB a little bit of a spidey sense going on there. Has to keep checking everything. But you've got DRG set up as well. So a lot of angles covered. Unfortunately, both of them have been taken down. So while Nathan's going, see ya, nerds, both of his teammates are falling by the wayside. And the skeet shooting is not quite working out in his favor yet. So he's going to have to try and hold down this site for a little bit. Wait for the rest of the reinforcements to come into position. We're down to below a minute remaining. So ODDIK have to seriously think about starting an exec. They could do a pivot if they want to, but it would have to come very, very quickly. And now all of their utility just about has been spent. Very little remaining to try and bite back with. And this has allowed Galorys to create a little bit of a death ball for themselves. And yes, the pivot will in fact happen as Nate managed to explore all the way on towards the B site. Hey guys, free for the taking. 20 seconds remain, so lots of time still available to them. And now we go into retake situations, and the question becomes, does Galorys even attempt this? Or do they just try and hold on to the little bit of weaponry that they have available? Woody reads into that, but unfortunately loses out in the battle. And now it should be more than doable to just hold on to these weapons.
They should be okay, although I say that. Cheeky one tap onto Nathan's dome, but through the wall. Keeps him alive just barely, within inches of it. What do we got here? Tomate going to get tested. Big swing at long, but that rock, not enough cover to keep him alive. Nathan, in the meanwhile, also falling, so it's only the Famis that gets carried across in the end.
Not ideal. Good decision making from ODDIK though. You know, why allow them to take anything into this next round? You want to keep them as low as possible. It has been interesting seeing how much momentum has been gained on these T sides. You could make a lot of argument for, you know, pistol round, wibbly wobbly, momentum, all that good stuff. But Galorys' force, much like what we saw in the first half, did not go their way. And that leaves them at a 2-round deficit. Now, gonna have to play a little bit more aggressive if they want to get value out of these pistols. I say that. Maybe not. I like this position. Oh, is he gonna get something?
Oh, that's awkward. The flash hits him. And he knows now, and that HE just does so much damage. In case locks, you can hear all those footsteps retreating back to B. At the exact same time, the A site has been completely penetrated. Woody down into the bank, and already solidifying that this is where the package will go.
I'm a little bit sad. I was waiting for that boost to just get mega value. And then the flash came out and I thought, oh, somebody's got to swing off of that, right? Like, there's got to be some... But no, it was just the HE follow-up. But no matter how you slice it, this is another anti-eco that goes the way every anti-eco should on paper. 5 alive at the end of the round for ODDIK. feeling comfortable with a 3-round advantage. Galorys now in the money. Rifles in hand. Ooh, AWP as well. This could be a big momentum shifter.
We'll see if it gets any value, though. There were a few rounds where there was an AWP in play, and maybe things didn't go the way that ODDIK wanted it to. Alas, this time. Got that CT AWP. That boosted? No, that's just the rifle. Making a bit of noise towards Con. Got Nathan on it. He is very much expecting this short pressure to come through eventually. In between both these T's, spots the barrel. Can't hit the shot that matters.
These nade stacks have been quite chunky. Leaving a few of the players pretty squishy. Oh, speaking of. Never mind your armor, never mind your helmet. BBB has been absolutely on fire. Between him and DRG, they've been doing so much to keep this very hotly contested. Nathan misses the shot, unfortunately. He just moved ever so slightly, so Diazera will win that one out. And suddenly this A site starts to look like pretty free for the taking. Still a player on site. DRG going to be battling back as far as he can. GB unfortunately does get taken down, and that was the partner that kind of needed to assist DRG here. DRG, unfortunately, or however, shows that he doesn't necessarily need assistance. Continuing to be a problem child, but Tamati, through the smoke and all of the confusion, caught looking the wrong way. The final shot comes through from Diazera, and what could have been a turnaround for them, unfortunately ends up being double digits for ODDIK.
Feels like Overpass just seems to be a little bit more T-sided at the moment. No one in the last couple of days that I've watched this map has been able to really get anything going on their CT side, which seems weird to say. Maybe it is just the power of the AK, power of the Glocks. Ooh, tomato. Dodging a bullet that was never shot. What's the angle here? It's just a very, very slow start to the round for ODDIK. Trying to allow Nades to get some kind of entry. And expecting the CTs to be the ones to make a move. But at the minute mark, you kind of got to start going forward.
Well, going forward and getting absolutely shut down, it seems. Trying to take some closer engagements because of the pistols, but it's just been overrunning. And it does kind of feel like that was, to a degree, the case. Very often these pistol rounds are just kind of a go next angle. It wasn't one of those where they go hyper aggressive and just kind of run into the enemy team just to get that next round going. But it might have been one of those rounds where they sit back a little bit more passively to have a bit of an extra chat. You know, a free tack pause, so to speak. Because realistically, I don't think we were expecting too much to come out of this round. The problem now is that ODDIK find themselves 2 rounds away from winning the map. Galorys have yet to pick up a single round here on their CT side. Now, this will be their second rifle round. And if something doesn't happen here, I fear this may be the end for their Overpass.
Look, I fear you might be right. But we'll see if, you know, backs against the wall, they're going to be able to play their best brand of Counter-Strike. They do have guns back online. But yeah, just looking a little lost. Throwing that initial set over towards Fountain. And only leaving Nathan. GBB went back for some extra utility. But util has been disrespected. ODDIK getting right in front of it. And Diozera looking to create some early space. DRG tagged down to 8. Decides to not go for that wall spam battle any longer. In a position to Boost up. Oh, and he spotted it on the jump up, but there's another one coming this way. Destiny aware, looking the right direction, but gets caught on the jump up himself. That's not a good way to be. You had the man advantage. You'd already found Woody. And maybe you've just pushed that point a little too far. This time, though, Nathan gets a desperately needed frag.
Patience is certainly the play here, and I love this kind of more pulled back approach. Unfortunately, the boost doesn't quite net them the results that they want, so a little bit of utility to try to slow things down and then start to call in the cavalry. They're going to need those reinforcements, particularly with DRG being so low HP. One stray bullet is all it's going to take, and he's been a little bit of a hero, as mentioned before, so really do need him to survive into this. And Nate, oh man, this is so cheeky. They haven't spotted him crossing into this position, so he's going to get in behind them so easily. The moment that he activates, it's a 2-for-1 special. Nathan the last to fall. And just as quick as it began, the fights are over, and it's ODDIK on map point.
Yeah, what can you really change? That's the thing, right? At this point, you've kind of looked for every answer, and there's just not been a solution to your issues. Back her up, boys. Maybe worry about Anubis now instead. ODDIK just keeping on every time, even when they're at the disadvantage. They manage to find the result that they're after, and there's an opening from Woody. This battle through the wall just not going their way. GBB falling, and this is looking like it's the beginning of the end of Overpass.
6 consecutive rounds on the T side, about to be a 7th. Just devastation in the Galorys camp. This is their map pick. Desperately trying to find a way back into it, but unfortunately will be denied at the final hurdle. 13-6 is our final score. And need to remind everyone, the last time they met on this map, it was a 19-15 in favor of Galorys. I had high hopes for them, having taken a map off of MIBR recently, but ODDIK have shown they have certainly come to play.
Yeah, look, they're doing everything that they can, making sure that they get a chance back in that upper bracket, and also get that sweet, sweet revenge on Galorys, because you know it's been a while between drinks. They got different calls now, and they want to just step up, get that confidence, and make sure that they've got a shot at the title. That's what it's all about. Now, of course, to get that shot at the title, it's not just Overpass that we're going to be playing. They need to win too, and Anubis is their map pick, which is going to be coming up just after the break.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and Rolex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, I could like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on the better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino.
I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my till my feet become. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. 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 Till my feet become. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my feet become blown. I'll keep going till my feet become blown.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. How will I get out of the jungle? Everybody wanna stop me. 10 more steps up the mountain. Now everybody's looking for me. Spend my life in the desert till something changed inside of me. Now I'm flying over oceans. Everybody looking at me. I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Full power, get louder. I'ma get stronger, just watch me. Full power, get louder. I'ma get stronger, just watch me. Every hour, no doubter. When they hear my song, just watch me. Every hour, no doubter. I can run this town. Somebody give me the key. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. No more doubt about me. Oh, I can run this town. Don't you know I got the
And welcome back, everybody. We are about to dive into our second map here of ECL South American Cup number 1, where we have ODDIK versus Galorys in the lower bracket final, duking it out for a spot in the grand final versus MIBR. Now, ODDIK have already snagged their opponent's map pick of Overpass, and in a very dominant fashion on that second half. It honestly leaves a lot of questions for what Anubis is going to look like, particularly because Galorys haven't really played Anubis.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing that we need to focus on here, right? Is what their Anubis is going to look like. Have they been practicing it? Obviously, they have to have, right? If they've let it slide through in the veto, even if they haven't had a chance to play it. And then also the fact that it has been a pick for ODDIK, and that means that they're probably not going to get their favored side to start on, but who knows what side that even is, especially, you know, if Galorys has been secretly practicing this with other teams around the South American region, then, you know, they could have some kind of solid strats sorted. I guess the thing is, you know, there's not much for us to go off if we haven't actually seen it yet. So we just have to go into this with open minds and be open books, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can look at like past results, and when I say past, I'm talking November 2024, which was the last time that the two cores of this roster met up on Anubis. But let's face it, that is a completely useless, historical thing to try and draw anything from. So as you say, right, you got to go with an open mind, and you got to hope that for Galorys, they've at least put some time into it outside of officials. Without it being their ban, you've got to think that there's some kind of comfort on it. If not, super confident, at least confident enough to not want to instantly ban it out. So hopefully that does end up being the case for them. As you see before you here, not a single play on it. They've got plays on just about every other map, but it's really Anubis that they've managed to avoid without outright banning it.
Yeah, and you'll take that. You'll see exactly. Maybe it's time to show your cards, right? Especially if it's your last chance, your back's against the wall. Obviously, Overpass didn't go right for you. So, yeah, it's your last real chance before either the next cup or the next season or the next tournament. So you maybe just want to get at least one rep in. Maybe that's another reason that they've left it open. And maybe ODDIK wanted to just test them, see exactly what they've got and what they can bring to the table. But yeah, ODDIK, we could see the confidence there on that T side on that second half of Overpass. It looked very solid. They looked very happy just to run it down, run in there, even when they were man disadvantage. They'd always just happily bring it back.
Yeah. I think what's really been exciting, but also a potential thing that needs to be kept in mind. So I saw Hayes in the chat a little bit earlier on, for those that don't know, another caster, and he was saying that Galorys' IGL is DRG, who is, the newest member of the team. And so we often talk about growing pains and how you're integrating new players into a roster, and changing your IGL is no small thing. Very often, that can determine how you think about the game, or rather how the IGL thinks about the game can change how the team is expected to approach the game and to approach certain situations, and their style of calling, if it's really different to something that they've been familiar with in the past, that can also bring about its own kind of challenges that need to be dealt with. And DRG's only been on this roster for about a month officially. Now, we don't know obviously how long he was maybe practicing before the announcement, but on paper only been there for about a month. So when you consider that, things start to fall into place a little bit more, and you start to get a little bit more of a bit of insight into what could be going on behind the scenes. So I think I'll give them a little bit of leeway just based on that fact, and hopefully we'll start to see a bit more of a resurgence from them as the series goes on.
Yeah, we'll see what we end up getting from them. Of course, I'm ready to dive into the unknown. We'll see if the players are ready to dive into the unknown. Hopefully there's no more technical issues going on, but it feels like that there's, we're just sort of in a little waiting simulator, guys, until we figure out if the player's ready. Oh, okay, that's good signs. That means that we shouldn't be too far away, and the pistol round is just around the corner.
Yes, and looking forward to it. And of course, for Galorys, this is an opportunity to stay in this. If they lose this map, then obviously that's kind of it. They'll be out of this cup and they'll have to come back for cup number 2 to try and snag themselves a spot. So let's see if they are able to do just that. We dive into Anubis, and they've opted to start on the CT side. That's really interesting to me, because as much as the whole premise of the changes around the map was to try to make it less T-sided, it still shows a lot of signs of that T-sidedness. So choosing to start on the CT side, certainly an interesting one for me, but we'll give it a moment, see how it plays out, as already ODDIK are taking a lot of space here over towards this A side. They want to take advantage of the fact that A side can be difficult to retake on. So flash out into the open. Tamati able to get the one, but very quickly traded out, and well, most of the pins very quickly falling thereafter. You could see there was an attempt to take a long-range battle from water side, and even that went the way of ODDIK. Very quickly down to only 2 players remaining. DRG able to get one before that smoke can bloom. Has to reposition though, so they'll know exactly where he is. Desperately taking a few pot shots, trying to land something. Caught in the reload. Caselocks brings it down to a 3v1, and GBB, well, looks like he's just going to back away.
Yeah, that'll be that. Just save the Kev for the next. Does not back himself in the 1v3. Doesn't think that any of the Ts are too tagged up. And they're already in a very solid post plant. So CT start maybe not going as expected for Galorys. Even though they did have, you know, individuals in the right positions. They just couldn't get that trade game going. Not strong enough. But yeah, T-side pistol going to be something that ODDIK are very happy with. Their map pick. You win the pistol. You get that extra little bit of confidence. We'll see what kind of buy we get out of Galorys. Surely not too much. They're going to do it again. They're going to go for the force. All in, backing themselves. I love the confidence. I don't know if I love it if they lose.
Sees it. Fair enough.
Can be difficult to retake
on. So flash out into the open. Very quickly down. Let's see. As I was saying, you know, previously, it's become a lot more of a common thing to see the forces in the second round after losing pistol. I'm still not the biggest fan of it, but I can't deny that it can get results. The problem is when it doesn't, the snowball can be just insurmountable, and already first kill comes through, a little bit of damage done, but Woody, unfortunately, the meal was not finished off, so he's still alive, and Nate's managed to wrap around through water completely unseen. RG might be able to catch him off, but there isn't a lot of time remaining here. The Ts are slowly working their way through the CT lines, and as much as they haven't taken any space on towards the site, they're winning the long-range duel, so they don't actually have to take that space. Now, however, it's going to be a gun handed on over to those CTs, and DRG's wraparound actually does start to get results. So suddenly, we're in a 3 versus 2, but it's not a situation where it's just pistols remaining. We've actually got some decent weaponry for the Galorys squad. They don't have a kit on board though, so the question now becomes, how much are they willing to risk into a round that they forced into? They're willing to risk it all, and unfortunately, while they do get the 1 kill there, Caselocks is going to trade it out, and Tamati will be able to pick up into that AK. No saves to be had here, it seems. Or maybe. Okay. I was worried that he was just going to, you know, Leroy Jenkins his way through that one, but no, we'll keep that rifle into the next round.
We'll see what we get from him. And if that AK is going to find any kind of impact. Yeah, for now it is just save territory. Caselocks and Diozera doing God's work there. Finding those extra entries and then just locking things down. But yeah, so far so good. The T-side start that you would want completely, and knowing that you've just made your way past Galorys' force bite, you'll be happy to know that the next round, on paper at least, should be easier. There is some money there to just get those 5-7s, some deagles, maybe light util with a round loss bonus. You know, maybe get something just to support this AK.
Devastating to have not confirmed that opening kill. I don't know how much that changes long term. You know, as the round goes on, maybe it makes a big difference, maybe it makes no difference. It's really hard to tell, but Either way. Unlucky that they weren't able to get more out of that. I love that DRG is just sticking with this CZ shenanigan. And to be fair, he actually did get some value with it and continues to do so. There's that window pop. Absolutely love it. And he's able to slip away here, which is fantastic. So manages to get away with his life. Not able to get the gun, though, it seems, which is a little bit unfortunate. But they've managed to do quite a lot of damage. 2 players taken off the board and a quick rotation so they maintain this map control as far as possible. The T's now start making their way in towards this B side. Destiny playing around the pillar. It's a pretty telegraphed position. How has he gone and gotten 2? Diazera will trade him back, but Diazera's all alone now. 1 versus the world. Surely this isn't the round that Galorys bring things back into their possession, into their power. They're trying to keep Diazera on his toes and caught in the reload. The CZ will get its second of the round. DRG, an absolute demon with that pistol. Well, yeah, with that gun in hand. Galorys do, in fact, find their first.
With that buy of all things as well. That's crazy. But they're on the board, and that's what matters. You know, not allowing ODDIK to get too much momentum is always a great thing when you're on the CT side. Bring 3 AKs across into this round. And more importantly, you kind of break ODDIK's economy. They're going to go for the force buy, but that AWP that was still in play, still able to find the value. Oh, it's awkward. Flashes in. Nathan in a solid position to team up with Destiny and just fully lock down this B-site pop. AWP still in play. And Nate is just kind of waiting, hoping Woody is going to be able to do something to try and lock in this round. That ain't it.
That was a pretty necessary shot to hit. And unfortunately, with as much as ODDIK had won the 2 rounds, yeah, as you were saying, right, you lose all those rounds, that economy starts to kind of slip away from you. And next thing you know, you lose 1 round and suddenly it's disaster. Maybe Nate should be the AWPer. Nice shot there. So they'll at least be able to hold on to the AWP into the next round. There you go. Off the back of the 1 round win, Galorys will bring it up to 2, and suddenly we're on an even kilter. Money's going to be an interesting one for ODDIK. Let's see what they're able to string out in the next round.
Yeah, it's an interesting question from this point as well is, you know, do you hunt? Do you lock it in? Maybe they just know ODDIK's tendency is to carry this across to the next, because there's been a few times where Galorys and I guess ODDIK as well, there's multiple times when they were heavy searching and leaving that single player with the objective, giving multiple opportunities for ODDIK or their opponents, you know, given the situation, to actually clutch the round. But that ain't happening this time. Nate, already tagged down to 9 HP, is just full on the save investment. We'll see if this AWP is going to potentially be the piece to open up a round for ODDIK. That's a costly save. Only $550 left for Nate. He's got a little bit of util to play with. But does this warrant a force around the AWP?
I certainly hope not. There's really very little to try to force with.
Yeah.
Go for the util. See if they can maybe set Nardus up. Get a nice flash off, maybe get an opening kill, play off of that. There's this potential. But realistically, I mean, I know we say, you know, a round's always winnable if there's an AWP on the board, but I don't know, I never have faith in that actually happening. Which is fun, because I'm always surprised when it does.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to lose faith and then regain it. Always a positive thing. Let's see if there's going to be any faith restored in this connection of sorts. Someone having a bit of a technical tantrum.
What are your thoughts on the Anubis changes, just while we have a moment?
It's definitely more CT-sided. I just wish Well, so what we're seeing is people are taking advantage of it on the CT side, but that's also slowed down the T side. So some people will like to brawl, like to throw some, flashes, some mollies, and try to go toe to toe with the CTs when they do go into water. But a lot of the time, CTs end up just winning that because they have that support from Con, which makes it really, really easy to hold. So you'll see the Ts just slow it down and let the CTs just sort of burn utility and then play retake on water before figuring out where they have to go, depending on if they get picks. And that's kind of how it's worked out. I definitely think it is way more CT sided, and it does promote more CT side aggression compared to what we used to see, right? We used to see like 10-2 halves on T side because people would just work it out. But then people can also on the T side, as we've seen, the statistics still for some teams say it's T sided. But I think because a lot of teams are still playing sort of old meta and investing in those old ideas, especially at the top level, it's sort of the tier 2 level where you get to see a bit of the fun stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was a similar thing with Train as well. Train got that rework, and for a while people were still kind of playing it as it was remembered.
Yeah.
And it takes a while to find your footing with some of the changes. But here we go, back into the action, and as we talk about the window pop, there it comes into fruition. And as you said, right, T-Sides just play things a little bit slower. Not as... He's been having a bit of a rough time with the AWP so far on this map. Had a great overpass, but has been a little bit slower in this one. Nate will pick up that mantle. Start to get that damage in. I have to hold on to this AWP for dear life. It's the only vestige of firepower that they have to their name. The fact that they've kept this scrappy, kept it at a 4-on-4 rather, means that they're still in with a chance here. Nathan getting very cheeky into their back line could cripple this attempt in towards the A site. Under a minute remaining now. Nothing really committed just yet. They've held on to quite a bit of their utility, expecting the wraparound, and they win that fight. Free rifle handed over, and a numbers advantage, and suddenly things start to look a lot more doable.
Everything really slowing down. ODDIK squeezing out every second. Destiny in a good position to hold this con push, although as this angle may get himself caught in between a rock and a hard place. Yeah, we'll go to B main, be spotted. But there's only 10 seconds. And ODDIK still need to get past him. That's going to be some good damage. Brings back to the 3v3. Can now posture for the retake with the smoke that has denied him positioning. Tries to spray away, but won't find it. Woody gets the bomb planted with the package down. The T's just need to find some solid post plants.
A decent suppressive fire that makes things just that little bit difficult to deny that plant from happening. And now, honestly, I think this is best case scenario for this round. I mean, they came into this with just the saved AWP and some pistols. They've managed to get a bomb planted. They've gotten 3 kills. And very likely they're going to be able to keep that AWP into the next round as well. So, job done. Go next.
Yeah, that's one way to put it. Nice couple of shots to set the round up for ODDIK. But again, I think it's this pick from Destiny that really sets up everything. And they just constantly had that attention drawn towards B main as the other two came in for the retake, making it look a little too easy. Let's see if they can keep this one going. Move into the next. AWP already on the line. I don't think he was spotted on that first jump peak. Missed opportunity to get the opening onto DRG. There is already a lot of action here. Boost up in the window. DRG not quite ready for it, but he will evade the attack.
I think what I find most interesting is, so they keep the AWP and Nate opts to force into an AK. And obviously everyone else just kind of on pistols around it. It's like every round they're trying to make this buy that little bit more robust. My God, that was labored, but he manages to connect all the kills at the end. That was a team kill! I mean, sure, Doing his job for him, I suppose. Back to the 3v3 now. EVG trying to catch somebody a little off guard with this deep position, but as the smoke clears, has to be a little bit more on his own guard. Not sure of where these T's have gone. You know, you got a huge dust up in mid, and suddenly everything goes quiet. I think they'll be kicking themselves after that T. Oh, Woody! Oh, the timing on that was so unfortunate. He was watching that for so long. And as he turns, the barrel of the gun gets spotted. Leaves his teammates 2 against the world. HE will soften Natty up ever so slightly. GBB's already in position, spams around the pillar. This could be another save. Will they allow him to save? Ooh, a lot of damage done, back and forth, but it's Nardis that gets the shot connecting. How has he gotten that shot? Okay, I was talking about how he kind of slowed down a little on this map. It's not enough to win them the round, but it's good to see that he's kind of coming into his own. Now that needs to translate into impactful kills that help them win a round.
Yeah, lovely couple of moments there for Galorys. But yeah, just not enough done by ODDIK. Good to see that the CT side is working out for them. Orp again, carried across, saved, and ODDIK, ooh, trying to put the pressure forward, but it's that incendiary forcing them out, forcing them to go for the trade, but it's a bit too far lost. Tamade happy to find that one, and another just with the HEs. Nadas, again, another round where he's going to request, hey guys, can you just save the Orp to the next? I know we probably lost this one.
Is this what, like, prime game time was like?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, okay. It's a little before my time, I'll be honest. But, I suppose, you know, when you get to see other players cosplay the moments, brings it to life for you a little bit. I'm curious as to what ODDIK are going to do with their economy kind of as these rounds go on. We're getting into round 8, and it's been some weird forces, and then holding on to the AWP for quite a few rounds. They're going to keep the rifle that they brought in, so at least that kind of tides over a little bit. But at a point, you've got to, like, allow yourself to reset. Otherwise, that train can just completely run away from you. And I think at this point, they've got a decent bit of lost streak bonus, so maybe they'll still be all right into the next round. But at a point, it's likely, you know, you kind of keep yourself on that knife's edge. And before you know it, everything's just gotten out of control.
Yeah, I think that's one way to put it. But at the same time, it's just, yeah. And a weird thing about saving on the T side is you just don't get that extra money. There is definitely money there to go for the, you know, Galils and AK again. But if the AWP's just not having impact, at what point do you just, you know, give it a crack? Go for the 2v2 over to a day, then hopefully you just have a good round, win it. You can't really let Galorys run away like this with your map pick on the CT side. Maybe they're caught off. Maybe they weren't expecting to start on this side. But hey, it's Counter-Strike. You kind of got to expect everything.
This is so funny. Okay, there's another rifle. So the thing that I was going to say is less funny now, but it was like AWP, then the next round AWP rifle, then the next round AWP rifle. But we've got more rifles, so it's another force. Woody on a Tech 9 here. I'm not tripping. I'm pretty sure Woody has been an AWPer. I wonder if there isn't a point where you just go, maybe let Woody AWP. Because Artist has been a little bit hit or miss. But into the next round. To see what Woody can get done with this Tech 9. He's kind of meant to be that tip of the spear. Nowhere near the tip of the spear, though. And meanwhile, it's just HEs and Molotovs and so much utility, chunking them away, and Woody does end up in fact being the first casualty, the first to fall. This site is so heavily reinforced, and Diazera has to put the entirety of his team on his back. It's gonna have to be an ace. Yet to plant the bomb and does not know where Tamati is, but has time to rotate. And may actually just take that opportunity now as he starts making his way in towards the CT spawn. So much room to work with, a little bit of time. Take a breath. Does he wrap back towards B? That's the other question at hand. It does look like that is going to be the case. Smarty has done well here to just not give away his position at all. A little bit of utility here for Diazera as well. Great use of the Molotov. It's going to deny the immediate swing, so he can get that bomb planted. Positioning again back towards the middle area, towards CT spawn. Smarty's just going to contact his way over towards the bomb. Surely not. I mean, this would be absolutely egregious. If he just drops a smoke on the bomb and starts defusing and just kind of sticks it. He's doing it. He's sticking it. HE to clear the smoke, and the shot connects. You know what? I saw the vision, but this was played beautifully by Diazera. An ace to clutch the round.
Look, if it's going to take one person to do it all, at least someone stood up, right?
Yeah.
ODDIK. They really needed that one. Just to try to stem the bleeding and stem those CT-sided rounds that Galorys were finding. But ODDIK, they are back. Let's see if they can double down. That is the crucial part. Alright, going for the Molly-Nade combo just to get that early mid control. Only one player here, that's DRG, who's going to get ran down by the MAC-10. But Woody, he's low. And he is a little bit slow on the jump there. Lucky to be alive that DRG couldn't find him. And we'll just pause and wait and posture. As now it's looking like it should be this A split, especially with the camera pick.
These weird forces just keep coming for ODDIK. But after winning a round, I mean, you have to buy. If you don't do that, you're actually just trolling. So, correct call made. Unfortunately, Diazera dying so early on in the round is not ideal. See if they can make a recovery off of that. The Molotov kind of forces them forward a little bit. Nate gets that first kill. Tamati, ooh, flashed out, gives away his position, and that allows them to follow up and shut him out of the round. DRG is in a good spot here. Gets that first, follows it up. One player alive still on the site. But he's waiting for reinforcements. How long is he willing to wait? Not terribly. If there's anything Diazera can do, I can do too. Woody's the last one left here. The only vestige standing between them. Gets that shot, but gives away his position. A tap on the bomb to try and bait Woody out into the open. Because DRG knows exactly where he is. He's got a kit available to him, and Woody is playing this immaculately. Unfortunately, swings out, does get shut down to the wire, but DRG makes the magic happen, brings it up to 6.
See if that's going to be enough. Who knows? You never know if they're going to have a rough T side. CT side's going well. Everyone doing all the right things. Forcing ODDIK rather, just to definitely struggle in a lot of these situations. There's only so many times you can expect the opponent to be faking, given that scenario. So you have to go for the swing eventually. And this time, unfortunately, it just didn't go as he had planned nor intended. Safer approach from the CTs, not really even poking their nose towards Con, which does allow Woody so much real estate. Ready just to bust in. And Galorys as well. Already predicting this to be the issue. So they've already sent a third member towards this B site.
You're going to start to rotate off here. Can't leave mid utterly uncontested. Leave yourself vulnerable. Unfortunately, that's left the B site vulnerable, or maybe not. Destiny and GBB say, hand in hand, we can hold this site. Spotting the jiggles, following it up beautifully, and while there is a little bit of bite back, it's the HE for the final kill. Galorys up to 7. We are so close to the end of this half, and Galorys have absolutely run away with it. ODDIK now 2 chances remain to have a little bit more of an even footing going into the half. And I want to have a look and see what that economy is going to look like. Yeah, it's rough out here.
But look, it's something. It's definitely something.
Give me a Tech 9 rush.
But thinking about it, they might just give it to you.
I live for it.
Looking like it is going to be the pop. Amen Smoke disrespected. Destiny. Oh, Tomato, sorry. Already over towards Heaven. Just going to be that Smoke Molly combo. Flash as well to maybe blind up Tomato, but that's never came. Man can see everything, and Nate's going to be a casualty in the process.
Did pop through, but follow-up wasn't as clean as it needed to be, and unfortunately already having lost 2 players, still haven't been able to plant that bomb yet. CT is already here to reinforce the site, and well, between the 4 of them, they make waves. And the Tech 9 rush that I was so hoping for, unfortunately gets stopped before it even has an opportunity to blossom. Last round of the half now. ODDIK have somehow managed to secure themselves just enough money to eke out a bye into this final round, but it needs to translate into a round win.
Yeah, it certainly does. Or they're going to be putting themselves in a position where they need to look towards Dust 2 to close out the series, because the 2-0 that we were convinced would happen seemingly will not be happening if Galorys keep up this kind of performance. We'll see what happens once they do move to that second half, but for now, it's looking A-OK for them. Especially with that pick. That'll put them in another good position. They're getting aggressive through A main in the meanwhile. This is a huge amount of information with the water control and the pick to potentially be free on Woody, who's made noise. They know there's that comms. Good trade onto GBB. And with all of that, you can just play retake on A with the A main control.
I wonder if Diazera is going to be able to... Yes, he is. Nice. Brings that to an even footing. And I love that they're taking such aggressive control here as well. They want to deny this potential retake. It's already fairly difficult to retake on this site. So if you can just stall that out as much as possible, make it that little bit more uncomfortable, get in behind these CTs. 1-for-1 trade, keeping it difficult. KS Locks, beautiful positioning, and spots out that last player as well, so can calm that over. They know for 100% certain he's going to be making his way through camera. Still manages to get the better of Nardus. With a kit in hand, he has very little time to work with here, and unfortunately as that time ticks away, he's going to attempt it. Oh, it's going to come down to the wire. No, not able to do it. And in the final moments of that round, ODDIK find their 4th.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. How will I get out of the jungle? Everybody wanna stop me. 10 more steps up the mountain. Now everybody's looking for me. Spend my life in the desert till something changed inside of me. Now I'm flying over oceans. Everybody looking at me. I can run this town. Oh.
In the dying embers of that half, ODDIK were finally able to snatch a 4th round for themselves, but there is still so much more to be done on their map pick. Only 4 rounds. Not doesn't bode terribly well, but they're going to get to move on to the CT side now, and hopefully we'll see a little bit of a change of pace.
No, it's definitely not good for the confidence, is it? But we shall see. We'll see once we get into the second half exactly what we're able to get out of either of these teams. You never know, you know. ODDIK could be a very solid side on the very solid team on that CT side. Maybe Galorys realized that, so they wanted to start CT to get a better start. We'll see. And it all boils down to how this pistol goes to try and swing that momentum back in ODDIK's favor. Let's see what we get out of him.
Looking like it's going to be a very quick pop over on towards this B site. Diazera forced back. Already a wall of smokes lie between him and his opponents, and as the bomb does get planted, there's a wraparound coming through to try to deny these T's that space to hold their pass plant, but the counter wraparound works in their favor. 3 versus 3 now on the bomb, and protect the president. Try to deny those shots through the smoke from stopping that defuse from coming through, but not confident enough to actually stick, hoping that these last vestiges will show their faces, and so they do, onto the bomb to try to get that defuse going. And it's another one that feels like it's going to be absolutely down to the wire, but they do make it happen, and ODDIK find their 5th.
Yeah, there seemed to be a bit more confidence that time, but just going straight for the retake. CT pistol, going to put themselves in a very good position here. I think that's both pistols, so we'll see if the scoreline inflates out in their direction. But again, you could see Galorys, they just went with the full send approach. And we'll see if that's going to happen again here. As with the bomb plant, they're going to go for the full investment again. What do we got? On smoke there. No early mid utility, not for the T's at least. But it is a more silent approach through rugs. Looking like they want to hit the A site. And they're going to find a main uncontested. Nate comes through with a smoke, but look at this. The spacing so good. Destiny right up in his grills. Just catching a nice timing.
Nodus gets forced out of his position there and then instantly flashed out as well. So very little that he's able to do. KSLOCK's trying to dodge that smoke, maybe grab something just before it blooms, but loses his head in the process. And just as quickly as ODDIK were able to get that first round, it's looking like we may find ourselves in one of those economic reset scenarios. As ODDIK are going to be forced now to just hold on to the 2 weapons that they still have remaining and give over this next round to Galorys.
Not a bad way to kick off the festivities. But ODDIK certainly going to be licking their wounds. In a bit of a rough position. Just one moment with one bad read, and it can boil down to a position like that where you're just saving and hoping that you can win this next round to try and maybe crack back at Galorys' economy. But yeah, ODDIK, after a very solid pistol round, just couldn't make the retake happen there over towards the A site. This time, however, earlier utility, and maybe a bit more of a reconnaissance over towards water, just to try to figure out what exactly is going on.
It's the reset, I think, that's really the heartbreaker at the end of that round. I'm still opting to force into this as well, so high risk, high reward. One of my favorite phrases to use. Trying to clear out a little bit of space here towards mid. Obviously, all of that's being seen and heard. So they've reinforced this position. ODDIK make the right choice. They're just going to back out. Don't risk the stack. Been pretty quiet towards B. They can swap up. This is going to give some time over to ODDIK, though. Realizing that nothing's happening in towards mid, they can start kind of fanning out a little bit. Oh, beautiful timing there from DRG. Catches Woody, and that leaves the Azera alone on the side. Able to get 2 off the back of that flash, though. And he's still able to fall away. So advantage given over in terms of the numbers here. Dodges that HE, but unfortunately the fire, the spam back through the smoke catches him. He can't survive much longer. DRG spots out one. Managing to chunk Case Locks down dangerously low. The follow-up HE just to finish him off. And Nardis with an MP9 in hand. It is an unthinkable task ahead of him if he does opt to push for it. And of course, won't do so, and instead will just back away.
Yeah, not a lot you can really do if they don't present themselves to you. And it really makes you think, what can ODDIK do to turn this game around at this point? Because they've had their opportunities, they've had their gun rounds, and they've had chances, many, many, many chances to make it happen. But Galorys are just constantly doing the right thing, putting themselves in the right position at the right time. It's just a bit of a weird watch, isn't it? Considering they haven't played it yet. Obviously, they are prepped, they are pracked, and they are ready to take it to the big dogs. So I guess they've chosen the right day to pull it out, right?
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what we were saying when we saw the veto as well, right? Like, they're confident enough to not outright ban it. So, and they're kind of allowing it to float to an extent. So that tells me that there's at least some effort and prep that's gone into it outside of officials. So clearly it is working out, and double digits is a very daunting prospect. Another team kill. That's pretty unfortunate for Galorys, and they're going to struggle to come back from that one. They walked into an absolute blender on this B site. They have been ground, chewed up, spit out. DRG is the last one left alive here, but after a few rounds that have not gone in their favor, it looks like ODDIK are finally going to get themselves back onto the board. And in an unlikely round as well.
You'll take it. Even if it's fast.
Yeah.
DT's all at the vicinity at the right time. Can that be the difference maker? Can this be the one that they desperately needed? Heavier presence towards mid. Are we going for the drop? Finally? No. Molly disincentivizes them, knowing that it is almost certain death with a couple of the Molly nade combos that the T's have managed to work on up. And Woody is gazing down towards water, just making sure there's no T's doing anything too crazy. Body block on the smoke gives K-Slox what he thought could have been an angle. Shooting, spamming, just over towards that safer side, and the Molly as well will send the T's packing. So no mid pressure coming through for Galorys just yet. Got a bit of damage on a K-Slox, but that'll be that. And the numbers game is going to be played by ODDIK now, who are, I was going to say sending K-Slox to the correct position, but he's just gone back towards A at possibly the worst time as this exec comes in.
K-Slox thanking his lucky stars that he was able to survive that initial engagement there. Bomb's going to start making its way through mid, as they have managed to take that space. Nate ready and waiting. DRG shut down. Now the bomb is well and truly into mid. They kind of have to commit to this with 30 seconds remaining, and unfortunately, it goes utterly awry. Bomb is now lost. Tamati is the last one remaining. I don't think there's too much more that he can get done in this one. So potentially a flawless round here for ODDIK off the back of some very solid mid aggression at the start of the round. And Galorys seemingly struggling to stabilize once that initial plan starts to go awry.
Yeah, CT's poised and at the ready. Nate making the most of the new box. Just playing some nasty angles for the T's to have to deal with. Swinging one side, then the other. Flashing for himself. And in the meanwhile, Nada's just locking onto the A main pincer. But that fake at the B side, not enough. Even after all that conditioning. But again, it's going to be a fast one. Nada is going to be tucked away over towards Con. Things getting a little awkward. K-Slox going to be able to find one in through the smokes. And Nada's holds on for a few. Has a helping hand right beside him. It's Woody to take another. And that's looking like it should be a quick one. DRG, not in the vicinity, has been carrying Galorys up to this point. But, oh, can he get more done? Surely not. Surely not a 3K there. No, too many to deal with.
I mean, you can call it eco-fragged, you can call it whatever you like, but it's good to see Nardus stepping up a little bit more. That was one of the things that I was concerned about, particularly on the T side, but T side AWP is always going to be a difficult one to try to maneuver. Now that they've moved on to the CT side, he really seems to be coming into his own a lot more. That's kind of what we were wanting to see. And, of course, feeling very happy about the fact that they've brought this deficit down to only 2 rounds. Things were looking quite dire for a moment there, but DRG, solid opening shot onto Nate, who dares to peek his head out into mid through those doors. They will get absolutely blown off. Oh, GBB. All right, calm down. These Deagles getting a little bit more value than they have any right to. And it's almost like swatting flies. They're like, can you not see we're busy making our way over towards this A site? Back off. Bomb now should actually get planted. No utility coming out to deny that from happening. Now, ODDIK have to try to retake despite the fact that they've lost so many to these pistols. Around the corner, they'll find value, but Tamati has picked up an M4 and he's continuing this reign of terror from the Galorys side. So K-Slox left alone to try to 1v4, and instead it's going to be yet another save. These Deagles have performed miracles here.
Yeah, it was a crazy round out of them, but it also makes you think, like, it's wild that ODDIK, they've done the hard yards, they've gone through the easy rounds, the hard rounds, and then the mid rounds that they should be winning, they just get their heads taken off. So Galorys seem to want it more, you know, putting their crosshairs in the perfectly poised spots. And unfortunately for ODDIK, As they went for the info, for the peaks, and for the trades, they just got completely, absolutely digged out of contention. Still another opportunity here, but they are running out of them. Running out of chances.
Seems to me that that third map might just be on the horizon for us. This might even be last chance saloon for ODDIK to keep themselves going that little bit longer. So Diazera finding that opening kill is massive, but can't get anything more done really. Does a lot of damage though, softens Destiny up, gives his teammates a really solid opportunity to follow that up, and already they do have a numbers advantage, but bomb is going to be planted. HEs start to come through there. DRG can't survive the onslaught. The flash is beautiful. Nate with the double. Destiny now all alone, heavily tagged up. Good for 2 before finally being put down. A little bit close for comfort, but ODDIK will get one more round and kind of give themselves a little bit of a stay of execution here. The economy was starting to look a bit dire for them, so off the back of this win, there's still a little bit more that they can do into these next rounds. The unfortunate thing is that Galorys are still fine, so there isn't a massive opportunity to leverage in that regard at the moment.
Yeah, but you got to take what you can get, right? And with that bomb plant, as you mentioned, the economy's still good for one more. That's what happens when you win the deco. Warrant yourself an extra one of these harder rounds for the CTs to deal with. Instant molly at window, case locks in the house, just playing the off angle and hoping that Nate with that flash can support him if he takes the fight. That T-stairs smoke just incredibly deep, not necessarily working in favor for Nades. So the smoke break not really working as he may have intended. Underarms a flash forward. But it's Nathan. Make his way in first. Nades not able to get back into E-box in time. And just like that, it's a 3v4 man disadvantage situation. ODDIK get the info with that molly tag. They still need to get these picks. Nate going to be able to find one, but I just don't know if that's enough.
So much of this has come down to individual heroics, and unfortunately in a moment like this, those heroics can't really come to fruition. We talked about how the, that was an important round for them to win just because of the economic situation, but they hadn't built, they needed another round to start building something so that if they lose a round, find themselves on that map point, they still have something into the next. Now, they will have something, but it will by no means be ideal. It's going to be super uncomfortable, and we've seen them do a lot, even with a little. Pressure is on now, and how do they deal with that pressure? We've seen some of these high-pressure moments where shots start to get whiffed, and, team kills start happening. Is this a moment where they kind of pull themselves towards themselves and start to build into that potential overtime? Or are we going to see them kind of crumble under the pressure?
Well, let's find out together.
Yeah.
Looking like Destiny is... What's he got? Smoke in there, progression util over towards A main, but in the meanwhile, Woody going to be spotted and heard with those couple of warning shots being fired off. Nate, close range with the MP9. Aware that that T-stair smoke has faded. Will hang around, be the bad smell, and potentially catch Destiny here on the lurk. As now there's going to be some mid-pressure starting to come this direction. Flash forward alerts the CTs of that potential danger, and they'll try to readjust.
Paranoia starts to set in here, checking every possible conceivable angle. So much damage done, but can't confirm the kill, unfortunately. Nate loses his life. Nardis is very quick to follow. And while he does get one of his own, Diazera now has a tough ask in front of him. He needs to survive, and he does not. It's Nathan to get that kill. Caselox tries desperately to lock down this site, but unfortunately can only get one. Two of these players are disgustingly tagged up. If Woody can find a way to isolate these duels, he's in with a chance. Unfortunately, the one robust health player is still in towards the site, and the low HP player is the AWPer. The RG will have spotted that. The final shot connects, and a resurgence from Galorys, winning their opponent's map pick 13-9. We have a map 3 on our hands.
We certainly do, and it is looming over us. It's just there, and of course, it's a map that I think everyone wanted to see ODDIK play on anyway. It is going to be Dust, which I don't think is going to play out anything like what we've seen so far. These first 2 maps have been, honestly a little slow, especially in the early round, other than, maybe this half. Galorys going pretty ham towards that B side a few times, trying to condition ODDIK. It worked for the most part. ODDIK made some good reads and then unfortunately made some bad reads. But good to see Galorys' Anubis brought to the table, and it has been successful. So good job from them, getting that 100% map win rate. Woo! Let's see if that continues. Of course, that's going to be a hard one to lock onto, especially now you've shown what you can do. But I want to see what both these teams can do to close things out on the third and final map of Dust 2, and that's coming up just after the break.
Sometimes you gotta pray for a victory. Yeah, I'm overzealous when I'm thinking about the cash flow. I never had no handouts, just came natural. I've been tested so much, all these wrestlers nice. All these different situations that I've been through. I seen pain trying to creep in through the window, but now I'm sliding through the hood in a benzo. You gotta separate yourself just to elevate. I keep some drink in my cup to see through the hate. Sometimes on the road to glory, you gotta press the brakes. I got a lesson plan for all my past mistakes. I swear I'm proud of all my best and my worst days. Proud of all my feet when I touch the ground. Front of 8 at Beijing, man, they know the sound. I know I made mistakes, but my mama proud. Fans scream my lyrics out in the background. They ain't know me then, but I'm hot now. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. I'm faced with a lot of different choices these days. Do a rock and Rolex account of Blueface. The whole world know my name off a mixtape. I still got the same brothers since 6th grade. G-Wagon, red seats, we on Biscayne. Trips to the Florida Keys, we imported these. Thanking God for the life he afforded me. All this jewelry on my body, acting like the hood. I need a brown skinned chick just like Megan Good. Holding up every promise that I ever made. Music in the background, it's a serenade. Been rapping 10 years, boy, this ain't a phase. I paid dues, paid rent, and I stayed the same. I had teardrops running down my face. I've been through a lot, I had real pain. But thank God, cause we really on a better days. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. Life down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. They say life's a gamble, you gotta roll the dice. I risked a lot of different things just to live this life. When you down bad, you gotta pay the price. I've been through hell and back just to live this life. What's a life without sacrifice? Sometimes you gotta thank God and just roll the dice. Pacino. Uh-huh.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting, but not enough is raining on me. Maybe I should give it all up. How much more can I take? Out here singing to the heavens. When I gonna get my break? I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. Oh, I can run this town. How will I get out of the jungle? Everybody wanna stop me. 10 more steps up the mountain. Now everybody's looking for me. Spend my life in the desert till something changed inside of me. Now I'm flying over oceans. Everybody looking at me.
And we are back, folks. We are currently in the lower bracket final of ECL Season 51 South America. And this game is absolutely delivering. We are going the distance all the way to map number 3. A dominant first showing on Overpass leads into a very strong performance on Anubis. We trade blows. And our final battlefield is going to be Dust 2.
I think you kind of love to see it, right? Like, this is going to be one of the ones where ODDIK's actually going to be tested, even though ODDIK did pick Anubis, didn't really look like their map pick. And look, Galorys has some pretty solid successes as of late on Dust 2 as well. So it might just be like two kind of Titans going head to head. And speaking of Titans, 26 and 13, rocking that 2KD, DRG, a key piece of why they won on Anubis. And obviously being, the newer player on the team, that's always got to be something that can definitely instill you with some kind of confidence. Also calling, you got to give him the pat on the back.
Yeah, I mean, it's always exciting to see a fragging IGL and doing a lot to kind of keep the team on the straight and narrow, so to speak. And things did go a little bit awry on the first map, but they really pulled themselves towards themselves on Anubis. So that was really exciting to see how they were able to bounce back and kind of pick up and learn from some of the mistakes on the previous map. But it all comes down to this final arena now, and you really do need everyone firing on all cylinders. Again, we will take a look at Galorys's map pool, and obviously the Anubis is now up to 100% win rate. Congratulations on that one. At Dust 2, it's kind of coin flippy. They've played it 3 times. They've won it twice. Really difficult to draw too many conclusions from that. But of course, it's a bog standard map. It's one that teams are super familiar with, and we always say it's an Overpass paradise. So it's the kind of place where we really need to see Nathan starting to step up for this roster, because I feel like when we compare him to Nardis did have some quieter moments, but it's really felt like Nathan hasn't really stepped up today.
Yeah, definitely having a bit of a quiet one. Obviously losing a few jewels that he probably wished he hadn't. But yeah, this is one of those opportunities for him to, maybe feel a bit more confident. Dust 2, definitely one of those maps where it is way more basic, lots more open angles, lots more aim-based territory. So we'll see if that's going to be enough. We'll see who's got the better flashes. So far, I feel like the flash game has been won for the most part by Galorys. So we'll see if ODDIK's going to be able to change that. It's just full fundamentals, back to basics, and I'm keen to see what ODDIK has up their sleeves as well to bounce back, because obviously they're going to be a little annoyed they didn't close this one out 2-0 when they had the chance.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there was a time there where they had a pretty solid lead for themselves, and we swapped sides and everything just kind of starts to slip through their fingers. So this is where everything kind of culminates. And obviously, we still have to have that knife round, and that'll help to determine, who's going to get to start off on that CT side. And we talk about the boon of being able to pick your side, but on this map in particular, knowing it's the Orpus Paradise, knowing it's a position where you can really get a lot of value, to be able to pick that would make a huge difference. And yeah, I was talking a little bit earlier about how I'm like dead sure that I remember Woody AWPing in the past. And to have him as a potential secondary AWPer on this map, like ODDIK, I think if they can get a runaway head start on the CT side, they could still kind of clinch this series for themselves.
Yeah, that's definitely something that can, give you the edge, give you a chance to potentially catch your opponents off or keep them guessing. Even just the couple of sounds of an AWP getting shot might be enough to reroute them. And if you've got that double AWP set up, it is just, the potential ultimate trap play. If your players are, feeling themselves, that's the difference. That's the big if, the big but of exactly what could be on, what could be good, and what could be potentially on the cards. But Sam, I heard not everyone is here, not everyone's ready to play yet. So we've set the scene, but we do need to go to a short break before we jump into D2.
To my feet, calm below. I'll keep going till my feet calm below. I'll keep going till my feet calm below. I'll keep going till my till my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm below. To my speaker calm. I'll keep going till my speaker calm below. I'll keep going till my speaker calm below. I'll keep going till my speaker calm below. I'll keep going till my speaker calm below.
Alright, let's dive straight back into it, and we get the pleasure of watching the knife round play out as well. Get a little bit of a teaser for what this map may just look like. We all kind of shuffle our way on into mid here. DRG nice and aggressive, as we've come to expect from him, and well, pretty dominant knife round win it seems. So Galorys will get to pick their side.
Love that for them. Which side's that going to be? They think it's CT-sided. Do they like to take the gamble on the spawns and play a bit of T-side action? Looks like CT is going to be the call. They're staying here. They're ready to go. GLHF's in the chat. And looking at the spawn for ODDIK, they have best B spawn and best long spawn, but it's A that they're after.
Let's meet on long and see who comes out on top of these engagements. Definitely concerned about some utility coming their way. But they're making their way out fairly uncontested. GBB just waiting for an inkling to know that he can throw that little bit of utility. just to slow things down ever so slightly and allow his team's rotations to come in. Nothing doing just yet. There you go. Smoke comes out. Counter smoke. Flash as well, potentially. Will slow down the encroaching forces. Maybe even force them to change direction as there's a little bit of suppressive fire coming through the smokes here, but will not be deterred. ODDIK push their way through these smokes and potentially to their detriment as very quickly Nathan steps up and gets a double for himself, but KSLOX from the mid position is able to bite back. Unfortunately for him, DRG is ready and waiting. And the final 2 players left alive here, trying desperately to battle it back. Bomb will actually get planted despite all of the dangers that have surrounded them. Destiny into Marty now. To hold hands to try to isolate these fights, seemingly forgetting that Nodis is still up there on the platform, and he'll just go ahead and spray through both of them.
Yeah, that'll be that. They're going to be happy with the round, happy with the pistol win. Managed to get their way far enough away from danger. Little awkward in some moments, but they do get it across the line. And Galorys probably going to be kicking themselves that they didn't win that one. But again, going to be going for the force. The Brazilians love it.
Ooh. And working out about as well as it has done leading up to this point. Nate with a 3K with a Mac 10. Leaves Tamati all alone. A little bit of damage would be nice, just to farm up a little bit of cash, particularly because of this force. So even 1 kill, just to add a little bit of potential, like utility, for example. Just something small would be a heavy boon. I suppose holding onto the weapon is pretty good too. So there you go. Quick as you like. Second round in favor of ODDIK.
Yeah, that is the nice thing about the CT side is if you save, you still get money. You still get a chance to potentially get something to drop across to your teammates. But hey, that ain't going to be happening because Tamate gets lurked upon. It's a Mac 10 as well for an extra $600 in the bank. Love that. And it's just easy peasy pickings, uppers crunch, not working as Galorys intended. And that'll be that. 2 on the board, nice and quick here for ODDIK. They're looking to get straight back in the game and maybe make up for lost time. Get some revenge for Anubis. And this time Galorys, a 5-man stack on short. Let's see how this goes for them.
Dodging that HE. Be happy with that one. Second HE follows up. Oh, chunks down Destiny. KSLOX gets the kill onto GBB. And it is just the stack trying to push through short here, trying to kind of catch somebody off guard. They've managed to get a kill onto Woody. Ooh, Nodis through the box as well. Just that extra little bit of cash. Diazera, I missed that one. Okay, a lot more damage than I think anyone was really expecting. So at least they force ODDIK to have to heavily reinvest into this round. If they can nab a win or 2 here, get some succession going, and very quickly garner some control.
Just get that one out of the way. Get straight into the next. That's what it's all about. Get those guns online so you can do your best work, Nathan. However, unfortunately going to be seeing the sun. Staring straight into that one. Fortunately for him, he had GBB right there to help him out. And denied the aggression from Diazera. So they'll finally find themselves a man advantage. What are they going to do to lock this in with Nathan with only an inch of health?
Interesting that he's taken up such an aggressive position down long as well. And luckily there isn't really any presence there, but seems an easy position for him to be run over if the pivot heads that way. For now, got a little bit of an angling towards short. You don't really have the manpower to set up a decent split here, so may just have to be the death ball. You can see them so acutely aware. Galorys have not been shy to do a little bit of wrapping around and getting in behind them, so constantly just trying to be aware and cognizant of the possibility of that happening. Wall of smokes now comes through, gives them a little bit of space, but my god, those HEs. Talk about making squishy targets, and as they try to push through these smokes, they will get run over. Locks the final one. He's going to run straight into Tamati here. I don't know how he survived. I don't know how he gets that kill. And the follow-up.
Okay.
He's going to be allowed to keep the AWP. But that's about it.
Little flary save, you'll take it. But inevitably, Galorys going to be taking that CT round. Getting everything they need and more. Taking a couple of AKs across to the next. But yeah, losing those two individuals makes their money, or at least puts their money in a very unstable position. Good to see they were able to capitalize into a round off the back of the initial pick. Let's see if they can do it again. HE invested just across. Long control going to be there. Bad spawns for ODDIK. So they're looking just to keep it normal, keep it basic, take lowers control, smoke out mid, show a bit of short presence, and then figure out where they want to go from there.
I like the aggressive long hold. Ooh, but Tamati's already been shut down on the B site here. That might just start to call in a rotation. Very easily set up a mid to B split here. Smoke start to come out. This could also just be a whole lot of smoke and mirrors, as we're starting to see a pivot from KS Locks. EBB is wrapped all the way around. Nobody's keeping an eye out for this. It's really going to come down to KS Locks, and too many angles to check, unfortunately. Nathan not given an opportunity. Can't fire that gun before he's put down. So in a 4v3 situation, ODDIK once again find themselves in the driving seat. Galorys have to decide, do we go for this or do we just save? And, well, it looks like it's just going to have to be yet another save.
It sounded like a broken record, but at the same time, it's something that we are very used to at this point.
Yeah.
And ODDIK hitting all the right shots, doing all the right things. And looking like they are just going to go for the handshake, not hunt, worry about their own long-term economy. I think is quite a good choice. Nathan just not allowed to play the game. But of course, Crosshairs all trained on that position, expecting the swing. Let's see if they can drag the lead out some more. And here's that double AWP that you've been asking for, Sam. Nades and Woody getting involved. And there you go. Connection on the cross, weakening the B site. And there's a little bit of util getting dumped towards uppers. They know that Tamate is ready for a bust.
Definitely wasn't expecting the double AWP on the T side, but hey-ho, let's see if it pays off. Nathan shuts down Nate. Brings it back to the 4v4. DRG got lost very early in that one, unfortunately. As you said, on that cross, through the double doors. Such a telegraphed setup, but it continues to deliver. Similar scenario plays out yet again. Oh, and this is what we've been waiting for. Nathan, long have we waited. He is activated. Get a little bit more done here. No, Woody's going to be the one to finally get him off the board. Now Tamati heavily under fire. A nice little bit of a cross-section set up there. That's going to allow ODDIK to get themselves onto the site, get that bomb planted. Reinforcements still need to come in from GBG. Destiny can isolate. He's already managed to get the first away from Woody, and Woody has to hold this with an open hand, and this is where it can become a little bit tricky going in with that double AWP setup. Spots the first, misses the shot. Okay, he hits the difficult one. Why not? Has to go for a reload. Has just enough time to duck and dive. Happy feet. Misses the no-scope. And Destiny, well, he does indeed live up to his name and wins out on that one. Bomb defused. Galorys up to 2.
I think the main issue, given the situation, though, is when you win that with 1 alive and your economy's already at breaking point, that just doesn't make things too much better. Yes, it's a round, and they could come few and far between. ODDIK feeling very comfortable. But that AWP battle going to be won by Nathan this time. Or Destiny, rather. Now, on to the next. Spawns looking like we are going straight out long. Dio Zera going to be doing the honors. Let's see if they can lock in.
Yeah, this is unfortunate because buying that AWP in the previous round means that in this round, Woody has a Tech 9. So it's a heavy investment. It's super risky. And unfortunately, it just didn't get them the results that they were hoping for. So now, let's see if Nardis can get another little bit of clay pigeon shooting done. This time, not to be the case. It's a very quick pop in towards long. Destiny not willing to give up that space. Gets that first, but not able to follow it up. This is going to give an opportunity here for Nathan. Gets himself into a solid position towards Car. But Nardis is on the hunt. Looking to find his counterpart. Should be a flash over the top here. No, in fact, it's the Molotov. Forces Nathan out of his position. And honestly, that might be a little bit better for him. There's the flash. And now just continuously being flushed back. Forced out of the space. ODDIK will take that free and clear. Nathan spots Nate just slightly over the top of the smoke there. Looking to catch another player here around this smoke. Let's see if there's one way he can play into his favor. KSLOCK's playing really well around it. And it's Nardis who's able to catch Nathan here. And the bomb is actually on the site. KSLOCK's has been able to garner a lot of space for himself off the back of those smokes, but not in a safe position just yet. Still in a very, very tight position. Able to get one, throwing out that Molotov to try and make things a little bit more doable. Force players into unfavorable positions. Make them that little bit more uncomfortable. He'll start to punch in the digits. And he will, in fact, get that plant down. RGBB boosted up. Trying to flank around KSLOCK's. Oh, KSLOCK's unfortunate. Swapping back to the gun. Caught in that animation. And the defuse has already begun. The shot just barely above his head. That smoke doing God's work. And there it is. The defuse comes through. What should have been an ODDIK round is stolen away in the final moments.
But you'll be happy with that. If you love competitive Counter-Strike, you'll love the way that this one played out. Nadas, unfortunately, just couldn't get up to the plat in time. Package was planted for him, but that's the power of a smoke and a defuse kit, isn't it? Where are we going this time, though? Straight up short, nice and quietly. The long players not hearing anything yet. They are going to readjust, and Destiny could get caught in transition. Ooh, spots him on the jump peak. We'll have the cover of the box, but the helping hand of GBB a little far away. That being said, couple of dinks to kick things off.
Gonna leave Nathan a bit of an unfavorable spot here. I think across the board, it's very uncomfortable for ODDIK, and they're coming in with their pots and pans. Feeling a bit like that scene from Tarzan. You get the pots and pans out, you can still make music. They've given themselves the advantage into this round, but it's all smoke and mirrors. Look at where the bomb is. It's still posturing towards B. They're trying to keep the attention towards this A site as much as possible. They might actually pivot back, though. They've got the time to change up their decision. It looks like they are going to bring that bomb over. Oh, nasty shot. That's the AWP shut down, and as GBB pops up over the top, he gets his head blown straight off. And Tomati's the last one left alive. Sweet, sweet CS music.
What's his chance here? All right. Absolutely no chance of surviving. Good space in between the tees. Happy just to trade that one out. But again, ODDIK going to be happy with that. Lovely little aggression up short, managing to find that one through the smoke and the boxes. And just not a lot Galorys could do. Just sort of mispositioned. And again, we were speaking about how low their economy was. You can see there was almost no utility at 30 seconds into the round when ODDIK was already up on site. So what do you really do at that point? Now they've got the spawn for long. Woody will be taking the line, shoots instantly. Reveals that no one is out there. But they are going to hang around and potentially just go for the repop. Passing the AWP back across to Nadas. Woody just making most of the spawn. If you get that entry, it can certainly lead to an easy round, but that entry is going to come a little later anyway. Boosted up. Nice read from Woody. You expect that one to happen. And it'll bait out the second last of the smokes here for the CTs. Progression utility towards B just to draw attention back that direction. And it's going to work. But if Destiny falls, then that B site could certainly be getting flooded with hot water.
I don't think there was too many expectations in this round, as much as these Deagles can be absolutely devastating. And we have actually seen a few rounds where they get a ridiculous amount of value. On paper, this should be a fairly clean-cut round. And so far, so good for ODDIK. 3 players left alive here to try to battle back. We'll whittle that number down to 2. And Chaos is in a beautiful position here to just try and cut down any attempt at a rotate over. Beautiful little spray down. And that's ODDIK up to 6 rounds. They've doubled Galorys' scoreline, confirmed at least an even kilter at the half, and have set themselves up for a very successful Dust 2. Bearing in mind, this is their T side. They still get to have a CT side, and that was the side where I thought they were really going to flourish.
Whoa. That Molly disrespected. Big damage onto the USPs, and that HE perfect to follow. Nate thinking, do I want the ace? Do I want an eco ace? Or will people call me an eco hunter? What's going on? Nah, you boys, go find it. Go find him. I don't really care about the ace. And that was the conversation that ODDIK had.
Definitely. Alright, well, 2 rounds remaining. Oh, man. Hitting them with the replays. That's rough. that round was painful for them the first time. Back in the money now, though. To an extent. Let's see how they battle back into this. As mentioned, there's only 2 rounds left here to get a little bit more going. Oh, Woody. No concern whatsoever. Just completely swings through. Mid position now, free for the taking. Get a trade back at least. Ooh, that's a very messy spray, but we'll call it suppressive fire. Chaos manages to get the kill onto not his initial target, but that's okay. The follow-up is good. Nathan will quickly follow. This is very chaotic, very messy. Kills all across the map. But seemingly advantage ODDIK as Nate has found himself into the enemy back line. Is he going to be able to save his teammate from this encroaching CT? Yes, he is. Tamati now down for the count. They know the B site is free for the taking. DRG with a scant 5 HP. And a smoke in his way as well. He's going to have to back away. No chance to really fight back on this one. And ODDIK go up to 8.
Again, just on for the save. Having a quick chat about what the hell they can change moving into the next round. At least DRG, look, he's got that molly in the AK. That's the difference maker. That T-side molly can certainly burn a little harder. Burns a little longer as well. And given the situation, could be a difference maker. Although it won't be every single time. As you can see, DRG just struggling to get involved. Only just got his second kill for the half. Oof. Same as Tomate. Look at that, just struggling. Absolutely struggling to find any form of impact. And these are the individuals that were doing so much earlier on. Like DRG was the MVP there on Anubis. But now, just struggling. Absolutely struggling to find any form of impact. Tomate lucky to cross with his life after everything that has gone down. The Ozera tanks the molly, but misses the opportunity to open up onto Nathan.
A little bit of early damage. Suppressive fire. Trying to deny some space where possible. Last round to make a little bit of a miracle happen here for Galorys. We are kind of angling towards a potential B split. I like that they've taken the more up close and personal positioning here, but ODDIK, something about that just doesn't sit right with them, and they pivot away. To be fair, they've been getting really good results on this A site, so if it ain't broke, why try to fix it? Woody pushing through the smoke here. Surely, surely, there it is. Destiny does spot him out. That's gonna give a little bit more hope to Galorys. Nathan trying desperately, good for one, but is ultimately traded back. GBB will step up to the plate to keep this a little bit more doable. And between each of them, they do manage to secure themselves that fourth round. 8-4 is our half, but it's advantage ODDIK. A spot in the grand finals is on the line as we dive into the second half of map number 3. ODDIK are very much in the advantageous position here. 8-4 is where they ended off on their T side, and now they can mount a CT. And again, they do have that secondary sniper possibility in Woody. This is looking like it may just be a bit of a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, it certainly could be, but also we have seen teams pull a late half resurgence, and especially on the T side, maybe they can find the groove that they just could not find there in that first half. Still, Tomate and DRG, 3 kills between them. This is their chance to stand tall and change history, change their fate. B-site going to be open for the taking, smoke going down, and the bomb to be planted very shortly. Molly actually doesn't bloom, which allows the CTs an angle and an opportunity to get back in. They're just going to double up or even triple up over towards tunnels or save. Just complete save of the Kev so they get a better buy in the next.
It's not often that you see a save in a pistol round, but it does make a whole lot of sense. Yeah, they already have an advantage for themselves, and losing the pistol round, you know that they're prone to go for a force in any event. So to keep as much as possible into the following round, it makes sense. Maybe they can catch a couple of exits here, get a little bit of damage done, but ultimately they're looking towards that next round and how they can maintain that little bit of momentum that they've already started to build for themselves. So Galorys give themselves a little bit more of an opportunity here, but ODDIK want to take advantage of the economic situation at hand. I knew it. Oh man, I've been waiting for it. These are the days we prayed for, Mac.
Tag and bag. Couple of scouts, bit of fun. Let's see what they're going to be able to get done here. Diozera. Only just noticed he's having a bit of a rough game as well, so opting just to go for one of the baggers instead of the taggers. See where the scouts end up. You've got Nades over towards mid, and you got Woody poised on the long doors. But it looks like Galorys may just avoid all those shenanigans by going up short instead. Flash into the bedroom. Galorys just going to avoid that. Stay away from it with the 10-foot pole. Okay, 2 mollies invested for that short control. Giving ODDIK a good amount of information. HE doesn't get the best value. Nades flashed off, but will reaggress. The repeat. Not finding the damage, but again, 4-1 split. Still a lurk from Tomate. As the rest just posture and prepare to pump towards 8.
I gotta wonder if Galorys are expecting the potential double scout in this round. Well, if they weren't sure before, now they're 100% certain. They heard a scout in mid. I suppose there's a world in which there was a rotation. Speaking of, Diozera found himself behind enemy lines, but instead of trying his luck, he rotates away and, oh, beautiful, setting each other up. These CTs just baiting the Ts out into the open where they can set up a crossfire and absolutely eliminate them. GBB caught between a rock, a hard place, a tidal wave, an earthquake. There was nowhere for him to go. And ODDIK or rather, Galorys, getting up to that 9-5 now. Things are starting to look a little bit spicy.
Yeah, doing enough. Doing a great job to get themselves into this position. And look at that. Free upgrades all around after that. The Eagles pistols and that force buyback from Galorys. Incendiaried off. But making a ruckus towards lower dark. Might be able to catch Nades off, but that HE timing signals that he knows what's coming his direction. And it's a couple of pistols. Pre-fire on a GBB. Nice entry, but that's going to be the bomb out on the island and now in CT spawn. Mate, what are you doing?
A little bit messy. can't quite find the spatial control that they want, and ODDIK will happily take that all the way to the bank. A 10th round for them. As much as these pistol rounds are kind of, I called it a go next angle, you still generally want to see something a little bit more coordinated out of it, and it was unfortunately just that little bit too messy. No real damage done here, and ODDIK have set themselves up for, well, the train has certainly left the station. It's picking up speed, and within a moment, it's going to be runaway.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to put it, right?
Yeah.
Now, what can they do with Galorys? That's the question that everyone's asking. And it may just be strength in numbers. It may just be catching HEs that they thought were cricket balls.
Wouldn't that be a fun mechanic? You could like, you could get like a bat, and you could just lob HEs back where they came from.
I thought you were going to say catching grenades. And I was like, I don't know if that would be a great mechanic. But,
no.
yeah, look. What's, is it called Scout in TF2? You got the bat? I can't remember.
Maybe.
Can't remember if there's a mechanic where you can hit things with it. I know you can hit the ball that you have or something. I don't know, it's been years. And that's only relevant because it's built on the same engine and by the same developer. Okay, guys? Anyway.
Follow the logic.
Yeah. Get on my page.
Ooh, follow the T's into Keslock's crosshairs. Double kill for him. This B site is on Keslock. But unfortunately, he will eventually fall to the overpowering presence of these T's. Galorys, however, have managed to get that bomb planted, and the retake is going to be difficult. Scant utility available for them. Nathan starts spamming, realizing there's probably someone trying to close this distance. So Diazera is going to try and meet back up with his teammates, and surely this is just a back away, save the weaponry, and live to fight another day. No, in fact, we're setting up here. We're going for this. In through the doors, and it's just Nathan with a 3K spray down. Woody, a huge task on his hands, but not much more to be done in that one.
Ooh, they get the financial damage, and now they're going to have a better buy in the next, because they know they've got that money in the back pocket, and they know that Galorys weren't in a very good financial position, so that's not actually the worst idea I've ever seen, even though it did look a little bit silly and Nathan got an easy 3-piece. It was still more than enough.
Yeah. And there's the double up. No longer a scout situation. The full force behind them. Here's the problem. It's an angle towards this B site again, and retaking on B with AWPs is going to be an absolute mare. But once again, Keslock doing so much to keep this site locked down. How has he lived this long? It's taken a while, but he's done so much to keep this in a doable scenario. Unfortunately, not enough to stop that bomb from being planted. No extra utility just to force him off of that angle. He's dangerously low, though. One little HE that's well placed. That'll do. Chunk of damage onto DRG. We get the kill onto Nathan as well. Suddenly it's a 4v2. And this is a retake that you go for every day of the week. The last two players fall. And this will be the easiest defuse of ODDIK's life. They go up to 12 and it's map and series point.
Looking like a whole different beast here on D2 compared to what we saw from them on Anubis, and I dare say they will be extremely happy with what they've showcased here. And as you mentioned, Keslock's just so solid on this B site. Time after time, able to go 2 for 1, which definitely puts them in winnable positions. And now Galorys is just down to a real weird situation. Mac 10s, Tech 9s, maybe a faster approach. They do have this long spawn, which they are going to take advantage of. Nades not quite ran down. Smoke getting broken. Just to allow the CTs to keep on fighting, and they're going to break it yet again. 2 men facing from car, and that makes things ever so more difficult. I think Nathan Had an AK which could be retrieved, but that is going to be a big deal that ain't going to happen. Oh, DRG showing the shoulder, showing the bomb, and almost giving up the final round.
Okay. Double kill here from Destiny. Unfortunately, oh, no, that's the bomb. Oh, that's unfortunate. He was still hanging around long. They were waiting for that flank to set itself up, and unfortunately, it all falls apart. No matter how much they got done towards the end of that round, the power of ODDIK, the numbers they had remaining were just too much. 13-6, and that leaves us with a 2-1 victory in favor of ODDIK. They now have the opportunity to move forward and try to get a little bit of revenge over MIBR, who knocked them into the lower bracket earlier on in this tournament, and they can fight for that regional slot.
Yeah, hopefully they'll be able to give it a red hot crack. We got the bracket to have a look at as well to see exactly where we're at, which is, you know, right at the end of this trip, of this adventure that we've been on. And that is going to be the lower bracket completely filled out. Galorys just couldn't quite get it done. Couldn't find themselves there on Dust 2, even though, look, they have had some good results on D2 as of late. ODDIK just feeling that much more comfortable, making all the right calls, hitting all the right shots, and individuals that might not have shown what they were worth over on Anubis definitely firing up and waking up nice and late in the evening here down in Brazil. As we can see, over towards the upper bracket, they will be taking on MIBR tomorrow in the grand final. ODDIK against MIBR. Winner takes it all.
Absolutely. I mean, ODDIK have had a bit of a tumultuous run. Most of their games have gone to 3-map series, whereas for MIBR, you know, they've only dropped that 1 map to Galorys so far. But as we said, it's a little bit of a redemption arc here for ODDIK, looking to get that run and snag that spot away from MIBR. But I think, you know, looking at this, MIBR are certainly the favorites to walk away with this one. But no matter what, it's going to be an absolutely fantastic game, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that's going to play out. But that's going to be us wrapping things up here at South America. So thank you everybody for tuning in and for hanging out with us. North America is coming up very, very shortly, so don't run off too far because we've got another fantastic game waiting for you in the wings. We're going to take a little bit of a short break, and when we return, we'll have your NA games. Clear out that site as much as possible. Great positioning from ODDIK, just to deal with any reposition in on towards the site here. They know that the T's were still angling. Nate's been taken down. Oh, okay. Necessary opportunity. 2 players spotted down below. Oh, not as how have you lost one, but there are still 4 more players remaining. Despite that, still managing to fight back. GBB, how much more can you get done yet? Or however, shows that he doesn't necessarily need assistance. Continuing to be a problem child. So he's going to get in behind them so easily. The moment that he activates, it's a 2-for-1 station in the Galorys camp. This is their map pick. Desperately trying to find a way back, but it's Nardus that gets the shot connecting. How has he got? Sticks it. He's doing it. He's sticking it. HE to clear the smoke and shut him out of the round. DRG is in a good spot here. Gets that first. Follows it up. Has a tough ask in front of him. He needs to survive. And he does, potentially to their detriment, as very quickly Nathan steps to Marty here. I don't know how he survived. I don't know.
That Molly disrespected. Big damage onto the USPs, and that HE perfect to follow. Right.
Follow the logic.
Yeah. Get on my page.
Ooh, follow the T's into Keslock's crosshairs. Double kill for him.
The road to the top is a riddle. What will be my destiny? Money and fame are awaiting.